should be.
You're so good at the promo, Raph. I see all your tweets now.
Go ahead.
We're so casual about it. We're just like, did you tweet it? Oh yeah, wait, let me Instagram it.
Yeah.
There we are.
So hello everybody. Happy Sunday.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Let me turn my volume down. Can everybody hear us okay? First question.
Yeah, by the way, let us know how the sound is. And today we have a lovely guest, by the way, for maybe a lot of you already know our guest from today.
I think a lot probably know,
So,
yeah.
Maybe you should say his name, Eliza, because you're French. So,
Raphaël de Courville.
Yay.
Yes.
French, living in Berlin.
That's
Jealous,
me.
very jealous. And in fact, you got to Berlin when I got to Paris, which I find very fun. Like we crossed paths. Remember when we realized we crossed paths at that one processing weekend thing, and then we both went different ways.
Yeah, there's some photographic evidence that we were in the same
at
place
the same
at
bar
the same time.
It's so fun. Yeah. By the way, your glasses, is that like colorblind glasses or what?
No, it's 3D glasses.
Oh, okay. Cool. I feel like I'm going.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that.
How does that
too.
work then?
Like, why do you have 3D glasses like right now?
Because I have a zit.
I do too, but my glasses hide it as well. That's so funny.
There you go. I looked for something to cover it up, like in a pinch, and that's all I had on my desk. So there you go.
Hilarious. Sorry to ask the question. Now I feel bad. Matrix glasses.
Yeah, I was
Someone
going
in
to
the
ask
chat
as
says
well.
they're his favorite glasses.
Yeah, it's Rishi. Hi there. We have the India Standard Time Zone in the house.
It's true. Wait, they're
Computation
a couple hours
Mama
ahead,
is there.
so it's afternoon.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's fun. We have a bunch of people. We have like almost 20. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I'm glad because it's like I think it's very early, like in America. Not in Europe, but in some places it could be very, very
We're definitely not on American-friendly time right now, but that's fine. They can watch the replay. Same energy.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we have some early birds, so sometimes we do like people waking up at 5.
I mean, it's true. We have had that before, but mainly from Mexico, and it's usually Mario.
Yeah. No, but as well from the US, like I forgot his name now, from Fronting Horse. I think he wakes up at 5.
Oh yeah, true.
Over the weekend.
True.
It's greatly.
It's true. It's 2:30 in India. Abdul says, "Wow."
Yeah. Maybe some people in the US are watching it in the club, you know.
Yeah.
On a big screen.
And if they're in California, yeah, they'll still be out.
Coming back from partying.
Amazing. Well, welcome to the stream. We're so glad that you're here. I'm very excited because you were saying the first time we talked about shaders that you taught them, but then you stopped playing with them. So we're gonna play with them again today.
Yeah, and by the way, why don't you introduce yourself like to our viewers? Because I imagine like a lot of them maybe already know you because you also stream, and I'm gonna put your Twitch page in there so people can check it out.
You stream every week, no?
Yeah, I stream twice a week.
On
Tuesdays and Sundays, all about creative coding, and so yeah, but I can
let's start from the beginning.
Back it up a little bit.
Tell us a little bit of background, like who you are, what do you do, how you got started with creative coding, how you even got started with like your stream, because maybe some of our viewers, they don't know who you are, they don't know your stream yet. So
yes, so yeah, my name is Raphael. I'm originally from Paris, France. I'm a creative coder. I'm an artist. I trained as a designer and I studied typography, but then I found my way in interactive media and installations and things like that. I've been doing, I discovered processing about 10 years ago, and that's that was at Processing Paris, and that's when I met Eliza, but I didn't realize that until recently.
That we met,
we were both at the same workshop, and that's also where you started. Or
totally. No, absolutely. And it's funny because I just realized, like you were saying that you studied typography, the guy who organized Processing Paris also Mark was like a typography guy, I think. It's so interesting.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was a reason why I heard about the workshop, but in any case, that was I was already doing a little bit of installation work and interactive things before, but I wasn't doing the coding. A friend of mine was, and he was using C and C++, and he tried to teach me, but I found that all very confusing.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I discovered processing at that workshop, it was really like a revelation. I found out that I could do it myself, and then I got really excited. I spent the whole summer of 2012 just making all sorts of experiments with processing and playing around. And then I moved to Berlin because partly because I saw that there was a whole creative coding scene in Berlin that didn't really exist at the time in Paris. I don't know how it is now, but
actually, I'm gonna test. I found a creative code meetup. I'm gonna test it out next week.
Oh, nice!
Because it's finally not at the Science Center, which is on the other side of Paris. It's too far.
Oh,
so
yeah,
this is in the
no.
Marais. I'm gonna go and see. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll let you
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I arrived in Berlin, and I found out that there were indeed a lot of interesting things happening in the world of media art and creative coding and generative art and all that stuff. But there wasn't really exactly the kind of thing I wanted. I went to Processing Berlin, that was organized by 𝗬𝗲𝗀 and some other people. I forgot who else was responsible, but it was cool. But it was mostly presentations, and you're sitting in a dark room watching somebody else talk about their work, and it's interesting and inspiring, but it wasn't the most social thing. It was a bit clubby in a way, and I'm not really a club person.
Oh, like
so
freaky?
No, club, like
Club.
like a club,
like
loud music, and you're in the dark and you drink and stuff. And I don't drink anyway. So yeah, I was hoping for something a little more like hanging out with other creative coders, and so yeah, that's more or less that was part of the motivation where we started Creative Code Berlin. And so for the last 10 years, we've had meetups every month.
The vibe is so fun. You guys all just kind of get together, and whoever wants to present, I remember, could just
anybody
be like,
can
hey,
show
let me
something.
tell you about my code.
Yeah, we take names at the beginning, and anybody can show something for 10 minutes, sort of show and tell, very casual. And that's something I tried in everything I do, is like to keep everything extremely casual. There's a sort of weaponized awkwardness that is there to help people who don't normally feel like talking, feel comfortable talking. Actually, we're going back to the first we've had our first live meetup in 2 years last Saturday, and we're going back to live Stammtisch next Friday. That's going to be a first show and tell again.
Cool.
And yeah, very excited for that. Yeah, and streaming I see as a bit of an extension of that work, but in a online space. And I started because
Did you start last
initially
year?
I wanted to do.
By the way, streaming. Did you start?
I started a bit more than a year ago.
Okay.
And I started because basically I got the setup and I wanted to do YouTube tutorials, but it felt a little like it gave me anxiety to have to build something and make it finished and then post it. And so
it feels like it has to be more perfect, when you do it like
and the perfectionist in me was just feeling like, no, I
feel that.
I can't finish one thing. I'll do streaming because it's lower pressure, and I started like thinking about formats. And so and there's a really, really lovely community that joined around and gathered around my streams, and they're also on our Discord. And we do this weekly challenge. We have a topic each week. This week's topic was stained glass, and I do the review on Sunday night, so I will be streaming later today, reviewing that. And also next week we're going to have a special challenge. I'm teasing it now. I'll announce it tonight, but we have a very special guest, and some people will know what I mean when I say that.
Ooh, okay.
Someone
I'm
from the community,
now.
I imagine, and that it's known.
Somebody you know.
Have we had them on the stream before?
It's possible that you may have had them on the stream before.
Are
Okay,
they
Yes.
like a
okay. I think I
P5
have
person or processing or
or a
what's their
shader
tool
person.
of like
It's the
what are they know
yeah,
of?
kind of a. You may say
I
they're a
think I
P5
know.
person.
I think I know. Yay! I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yes. So that's next week. We'll have a. We will not vote on the topic this time. We will have
Okay.
a
But
fixed
that's a
topic.
lot every week. I feel like.
Yes, not
I feel like
twice.
you do a lot because you
Twice a
also put
week.
out you also
You said
twice a week with a
yeah.
challenge that then you
Yeah.
do
Plus the
and you
news that you
review.
do that
Plus
it
the
revolves
newsletter.
along the same topic, right? Like kind of
Yeah.
like creative coding and stuff that you have to read
That's a lot
like
of
weekly so that you
resourcing of
can
written materials.
create this. Because you do that alone,
Yeah.
or do you have somebody helping you doing that?
Oh, no, no, no. I do most everything I do alone. I get some, I get a lot of energy and help from the community. People are sharing inspiring things in the Discord all the time, so some of that ends up in the news. And I've had some help. Like we have a bot, like a custom bot, and my friend Steph helped me with the code at the beginning. And
Yeah, because you
things
have like
like
the
that
fancy
punctually.
effects on your channel. That's true.
Yeah, we have the bird sounds that people can type.
Yeah.
um and yeah, what else did I mean? Yeah, so I basically last year when I was starting the streaming and everything, I set myself a challenge to see. That was my challenge for last year, was how far can I get by myself mostly. I mean, nobody's an island, right? But that that I was trying to see like how much could I accomplish. It was sort of also like therapeutic in a way to
Totally.
see. I've co-founded the studio in the past, and that was very like straining, and like collaboration is enables you
Tricky.
to do a lot,
Yeah.
but it's also, it can be very draining. And so I needed the self-confidence boost to see that I could do stuff by myself, and that was part of what I was going for with that. So so far I've done most of it myself: design, advertising, well, the stream itself, my OBS setup, my layouts, everything. And now I'm getting to a point where I'm thinking like, oh, I could use the help here and there. But yeah, it's also a matter of, it's also a financial question. Like for now, I don't really have a budget for any of that.
Yeah.
I'm planning to launch a Patreon, but I want the count, like the perks to be worth it. So I've been building a library of code of my own
Wow.
old projects and templates and things like that. And at the lowest tier, I think, yeah, people will get like early access to the news, and I think the higher tier, there's the whole archive of all the news since the first edition. Now we're at issue 48.
48. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you seem
Yeah.
to be able to accomplish a lot as a one-man show, I have to say. It's very impressive.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have
I
a
agree.
job.
I was just about to
I
ask you
was going to say,
how
you're also
do
a
you
full-time artist,
manage?
right?
How do you manage with like a job and this, but you're not like, are you freelancing or where do you get money? Because you said
I'm an
that.
artist, so yeah, last year I sort of became a full-time artist by accident, and so that's sustained me so far. This year things are a bit more floaty, but yeah, I'll yeah, that's also part of why I want to launch the Patreon, to hopefully have some kind of more
Extra
stable
cushion. Yeah.
stable income, that I can have the confidence to do all of these things, knowing that there's some interest from my community.
Yeah.
Are you
um
gonna are you gonna give the course? How did that go, by the way? The course you did with shoot at the SFPC of Berlin. What's it called again? The Make
oh, the
Believe
school
School.
the school of machine, yeah,
Yes.
Rachel.
How
So
did that
school of
go?
machines making and make believe. It was cool. Yeah, it was really cool.
Because it was on like doing digital art,
It was
NFTs, and
challenging.
doing that
Yeah,
authentically, and I was like so close to signing up because the authenticity is
it
like
was an
so important to
experiment.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an experiment. I've been active as a I don't want to say an NFT artist. That's like a canvas artist,
we
whatever.
we
But
talked about that. Yeah.
But I've been active as on NFT platforms on Tezos specifically because I don't want to do proof of work for environmental issues. But regardless of that, there's still some ethical questions that are attached to that, and there's a lot of there's a lot of things to consider if you want to get involved with this whole scene. And there's a lot of I feel like the community, for having, like, you and I, we've been involved in the creative coding community for 10 years. It has been like this big family, big friendly, happy family for all that time, and before that, processing is 20 years old now, and so and computer art has been around for 70 years. So, but there's never been any attention, very little money, very little public public recognition for computer art. And suddenly it exploded, and suddenly there's money, and people are getting rich and people are not, and it creates tension, and it creates
jealousy and arguments.
I haven't seen that much jealousy, or at least nothing that I would label as jealousy, but people have very strong opinions about it, and it has really split the community in some ways, and so that's also one thing to consider. Plus the fact that it's, there's this whole speculation aspect, the scams, the political element of crypto, that it's at heart of it, it's this neoliberal
I
dream.
felt like last year it was even like more hot, that whole like topic of like big opinion on people, like beginning of the year, end of like 2020. So that
I get there's fatigue, like outrage fatigue.
Outrage fatigue for sure. I'm not, the speculative side of it I get really confused by, because but everything else I kind of find interesting to observe. But the speculative, I don't know.
Yeah, so that's part of what we talked about during the class. We wanted to get this out of the way in a way, but also, like put it in the middle of the way first of all, so that we address it head on, and then we moved on to more practical matters of how to make generative art and how to mint stuff and all of that. It's challenging because people were coming, like there were some total beginners and people who are more advanced, and it's always a challenge, and it was online. So there are things that would change if I did it again, like maybe scope it a little smaller. But I am actually doing it again now, like something, but it's like, I did this 1.5 hour workshop for 𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗀, which is a bootcamp.
Oh, my friend was almost gonna sign up for that, and then he didn't. Okay.
Yeah, it was free.
You should do it again. I think
there's another one. There's another one on Wednesday, the next week, which is going to be specifically about 𝗶𝗱𝗀. So
I'm gonna come to that.
Google that now. You can sign up still.
Do you have the URL so we can share it with the people on the chat, so that maybe they want to sign?
Is it going to be in English or French?
It's going to be in French though.
Okay. Well, you can share it anyway. Maybe we'll have a couple of French speakers, like the both of you. So if they're curious. I think.
Is it on the 20th? Wait, 25th was yesterday.
Yeah, it's gonna be June, yesterday. I think already, probably. I think so. Crazy. Yeah. I was gonna say
one of those people who's like, "Wow, time has flown," but it has.
There you go.
I wanted to say that I think it's just interesting to experiment with NFT, even if you don't get too deep into like doing it. Just to try it, just because I think this thing
it doesn't have to take over your life.
Yeah, exactly, and it really, I think as an artist, it's really like just gonna continue evolving, and at least that's my feeling, because I also don't feel like doing it because of many of the reasons too that you already mentioned, like become an NFT person, but I have tried just because I'm really curious, and because before that I was never into the blockchain topic, so I was learning everything like And I still find like the whole minting and the whole process so overwhelming that I'm really impressed about like the people that is, despite being like on tests or whatever, I find that the process is so very complicated just to put one piece like there, and then if you made a mistake, a typo, or maybe like you realize like, oh no, that's not exactly the version that I wanted to put there, like you have to like pay money again to like delete it and then put something new.
Yeah, because you have to like burn it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's quite a process, I would say.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It's a different mindset as well, and it can be really stressful. There's I really recommend reading. There was a summary of an event that, or not even a summary, but I think it was Annika Meyer who wrote it. Kyle MacDonald made an event which was called like cryptotherapy for like, I don't know, anxious crypto people, something. I don't remember the exact name. And she wrote a one-act play based on the event and the conversation that happened. And I was reading it this week, and it's great. It's really nice.
Crypto therapy for mixed crypto feelings, is that it?
Yes, that's the one. That's the one. And yeah, you can find this. It's
Please
it's
share
not
the
exactly
link
a
in the
summary.
chat if you
fictionalized account.
Yeah. Okay. I remember seeing this and being like, oh, it's so long. It's not actually that long at all.
No, it's not that long, and
video
it's really
too.
worth reading because it really goes around. Like it really does a great. It's a great way to see your anxieties about the whole space reflected in those archetypes.
Cryptotherapy for mixed. Let me put it in the chat.
Yeah, please, because then I can pick it up as well and put it on the screen if you share it like in the chat.
I just have to find. I observe the chat on my iPad, so I have to like find the link again.
Okay. Or you can send it to me like wherever you're in the computer, and I can grab it from there.
Well, I'm already on my iPad.
Okay.
You put it in. I think that this is the right one.
Cool.
Here.
Oh, perfect. Let me open this up.
But I'm definitely gonna watch your workshop next week then. And if you ever give the thing the Berlin creative coding one, what is it called again? School for Imagined Machine Make Believe Machine.
School of Machines, School of Machines Making and Make Believe.
Yeah, that's it. There are always such interesting workshops at that school.
I took one in machine learning last year. I really enjoy it.
Oh yes.
You should invite Rachel. Rachel.
I've exchanged emails with her actually. That's a very good idea.
She's amazing. She's so fantastic, nice. and I love the work that she does. So it's really really good. Any opportunity I have to praise the work that she's doing, and she really needs more. I think she needs more attention and all the success in the world for the work she's been doing for all this time.
It's impressive that she put this whole thing. But see, I call it the SFPC of Europe because she went to SFPC.
Yeah,
she talked to Zach apparently about it, and she was like, "I'd really like to reproduce something similar."
Yeah,
but she managed to do it in her own way.
Yeah, he was in Berlin and he did a workshop there. I saw it. It was super
cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that. That's fun.
Maybe we should share that URL too, because I did take a course, as I said, last year, and I really enjoy it because it's small groups. So then you get to know everybody, not only like the teacher, but the whole like.
Making and make believe. Oh yeah, okay. I feel like the name changed at some point, didn't it? Is that possible?
No.
Or I've just always internalized it wrong.
Some people call it School of Ma because that was the URL, and that's the short.
Oh right,
yeah. I always say School of Machines, despite being too long.
Yeah.
I always.
People say School of Machines. People say School of Ma. When she talked, I mean, she when she came up with the name, she asked us what we thought about it, and I was like, I'm not really convinced, but she ran with it anyway, and I think now it's just, I mean, it just works for the spirit of the place. So
I think so, because of like the topic of the courses that I normally have. So
no, it's just quirky and and it's just perfect. It grew on me, definitely.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
So, shall we get started?
Yeah. Let's dive in. So today, because Raph was okay. Wait, did we talk about how you taught shaders? You learned shaders. I don't think we got.
We didn't.
So Raph learned shaders because he needed to teach shaders, and he got into it. But tell me if I'm telling the story wrong. But then after you finished the workshop, you didn't touch them again, basically.
More or less, yeah. So that's true. As you said it, I just remembered something I didn't tell you before. But so we were about to teach this shader work, or we agreed to teach a shader workshop with a couple of friends of mine at Retune Festival back in 2013, and we basically had 1 or 2 months, I think, 1 month to get the material ready. Yeah, we called the workshop 50 Shades of Shaders.
Oh, it was that time.
I love it.
That was the time. And I don't know if you can still find traces of it online, but I still have the material. And it was basically because I was super excited to see that Processing had implemented support for shaders. Andres Colubre, I think, was the main architect of that. So I wanted to learn it. I had been wanting to learn it for a really long time, mostly because I had seen those GPUs things with lots of particles, and I was like, you can do that with shaders. And I was a bit confused about what shaders were really, and like GPU is another kind of like a very niche in the niche. So we did this workshop, and then after that, like you said, I didn't do much else. I do have this repository that I made also to help me learn. That was like,
you're stuck.
I think he got glitched.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, I don't know for you, but for me, it's like an okay glitch. He doesn't look weird.
No.
Yeah, you're back.
Hey,
okay.
you were gone for a
glitched,
second.
but it was totally fine.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You froze for a moment.
Yeah, exactly.
You were talking about your repo.
Yes.
So I said so filters for processing and shaders for processing, which were ports of shader toy stuff. Let me see if I can bring it up.
If you type 50 Shades of Shaders, the promo page is still there. Electroplas and Raphael.
Oh.
Yeah.
September
so that was
10th,
that's
Moko's. Or
Moko's.
October 9th.
How did
you
my
colleague Moko's.
search that so that we can put it up in the screen as well?
Oh, 50 Shades of Shaders. It's just 50 Shades of Shaders. You'll find it at the top. But then
I'm surprised nobody else used picked that up.
Yeah.
It was a time and a place. So we did it at Fiverr, so you have it at
it's codematters.nl. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no,
Fiverr.
Yeah, we did this in Berlin first, and then we did it again at in Amsterdam at Fiverr, and another time at Code Emotion conference. I think we did it 3 times.
I feel like your base, then your like foundation should be pretty solid. Didn't you?
Yeah, I have the fundamentals, but then I haven't really used them in a free form fashion. I only learned stuff and never really used it per se.
So you never really created stuff, kind of. So you use it like to teach
not
but never
in a
really
creative coding way. Like I used sometimes if I needed a filter, like a special effect.
Specific,
but
not to draw
not
stuff.
as an exploration.
Yeah.
Exactly, like not really in this freeform way that you do, which I really like.
Yay. Did you find the?
I'm gonna put it in the. You put it on the chat.
Oh no, I
already.
See it.
Yeah, I put it on the screen, and I was gonna share it in case like people is curious to see it.
Yeah, we have computational mama and Rishi in the chat who are keeping the chat alive. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
We've got some quiet lurkers. I feel like we have lurkers, quiet lurkers today.
Well, maybe it's too early. Like,
is the background image of that flyer a shader that you made?
Let me see.
You mean the one behind the boxes, right? Like the spiky one?
Oh yeah, Code and Matters. No, that's one that my colleague Moko made.
Okay.
Yeah. 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀 was yeah, a few people, but the two who were involved was Raphaël de and Maximilian Max. And they were more advanced than me with that stuff, but they were also learning.
Okay.
So yeah, it was 3 of us.
Okay, cool. And GPU shaders is compute shaders, right?
I think it's different. So before compute shaders were a thing, people were using these ping-ponging shaders. So you use 2 buffers and you switch them each frame. And I think that was a way to do stuff that now you would probably do with compute shaders. But I have only a surface understanding of that. I don't know if there's still a use for GPU. I think it's called general purpose GPU.
Well, to do particles, you
I
use
feel like
that.
you use them for your particles.
Yeah, because I did a tutorial from 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀 who was here, and I would say he's kind of advanced in shaders and WebGL in general and 3JS.
Kind of. He's quite advanced, yes.
And
mathematician also, so I feel
yeah. And he has a great YouTube channel with tutorials. He's a streamer as well on YouTube, and he has at least probably more than one tutorial on particles, and then you use the this that you were talking about on 3JS, on top of 3JS to create particles, so that it's and the vertex shader especially, so that you can manipulate them and it's not too much for the browser.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I have, as I said, like I've seen those things. It's like I have a very broad but shallow understanding of a lot of creative coding topics, and if we start digging deeper, it will break down, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
Though. I feel, but I'm like that too. I feel like the surface is nice because then you see the étendue. How do you say that in English? You see like the vast expanse of all the possibilities, and you can kind of like decide on any given day where you want to dive deep. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I'm like, I cannot, even if I tried really hard, I could never be a specialist. So I feel like I just need to like hype up the generalists. It's okay.
I feel you. Yeah.
Someone said that there is going to be the first time that they're going to see you doing shaders. So.
Ooh, making shaders, yeah.
Yeah, that's Rishi Denisovich. It's a regular in the community, the Verbs Nest community.
Oh, that's great to see then that they came here to see you.
Cute, yeah.
Yeah, and you too.
Thank you for me.
Right.
Okay, so wait, what do you remember from a fragment shader? I see we made the background black.
Yeah, because it was too bright.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, you change it.
Yes. So what I remember, so we're passing. So here we have this inside of a script tag in the HTML. It's cool that it's highlighted somehow, because I was afraid that on CodePen we wouldn't get the syntax highlighting for shaders.
Oh, no. Yeah, they're great. CodePen is wonderful.
So precision, so high precision floats. Yeah, I'm never really sure why you do like high or medium or whatever, but that's like how many decimal places.
Normally it is advised to use medium point float, which is
for mobile maybe.
Yeah, I was just about to say that because I do like have worked like on development of WebGL stuff that has to work on mobile, and that's the thing. Like you could use medium P and it's gonna look fine for us, for example, here in the browser. But once you want your shader to like across browsers and devices, especially mobile, is very picky with medium P. It will not render well to the shader, so it has to be high P. And I imagine maybe as well it could be, I've never thought about like right now, for example, I'm in an HD screen with that where we are, but I haven't tested like in Retina if it could be a problem. But also I've noticed like if I was doing something that could be like very fine and crisp, you see the difference when you swap between medium and high as well. So, and I think like maybe back to 3 years, 4, like the devices didn't handle the high P format. It was just too much because I think you're picking up more of the pixels somehow. And so it was recommended to use medium P, but nowadays like the devices and the browsers get better and better so that you can handle the high P float and then your shader looks better. So
Okay, that's cool.
Oh yeah, because the P stands for precision. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So then uniforms. There's these variables that you can pass from CPU to GPU, and there's a difference. Yeah, there's varings and uniforms, right? So uniforms, they stay the same in all the stages, and varings, you can affect them in the vertex shaders and they will change along the pipeline.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah.
Vec2, so it's a vector with two parameters, right?
Yeah.
And that's the resolution.
Yeah.
Uniform float u time, so that's for passing the time. Void main, that's it's self-explanatory. I know that in some shader languages, or maybe it's a Unity thing, or for more recent OpenGL stuff, like that you say what's in and what's out.
Yeah,
I don't fully
they
understand.
do that in Unity for sure, but actually Unity uses like CG, which is like the OG shader language. It's like super old. It's like a very old school kind of,
I thought it was a variation on GLSL, but no, it's something older.
Yeah, it's like super old school. It's based on, it's like a dialect of, but it's fun. It's just very wordy.
But the in and out as well in parameters of functions, you can do it here too, like in plain GLSL, and it's very useful actually, depending on what you actually want to do. If you have a function outside the scope of something, and then you want to define a variable that you want to maybe only like not change or change, so then this in out or in out, it's useful to declare for the parameter. So
someone in the comments, someone's saying they remember there being a macro before the float part. Are you talking about like a pragma?
I have no idea.
The uniform float?
We don't have those in this template anyways, but I've seen them used before. Yeah, it's like declaring a constant value. That's what you mean. But I don't know.
Like
I could be wrong.
Define in C?
Yeah, like sometimes you'll do, is it pragma, and then wait, am I confusing it with Unity now?
Pragma?
Is it define or pragma? I might be confusing it with Unity. Ignore me.
It's about
I guess
if and
it was
def.
If and that's a Unity thing, I think. I've never seen that.
I've seen it in GLSL.
You can use it in GLSL too. Yeah. You can.
I'd never seen it outside of Unity. That's so funny.
And I think it's like using a define, so it's more performant. So I've seen it like if you look at the documentation from GLSL Viewer from Patricio, he in a lot of the examples, or like the library. No, it was in l𝗏𝗀. Pardon me, in his library l𝗏𝗀.
Yeah.
Because I do use both things from Patricio, and sometimes I dig deep like of the stuff that he already created, and he uses this. And I saw that the other day, and I was like, probably that's. I didn't Google it, but I imagine that is more performant than using like an if-else statement without this connotation, because in shaderland is as well quite known that, for example, doing for loops or the stuff that you do in JavaScript is not good for performance. At the same, like if you have an if-else statement, is not as performant. You could write it just like in JavaScript, yes, but it's more performant if you like maybe find another function that could work as an if-else, like a step or a smooth step, and if not, probably using this way that the person in the chat just referenced, like a define. But these are things that probably the more you like do more shaders and are thinking as well about performance, then you like in the beginning, I think it doesn't matter. You don't have to like worry about that.
It's not important.
You can do a for
like
loop.
Don't get.
It is important, because I would use them to make things that people have to run on their machines if I mint it on fxhash. So that's the thing that, and it's the story repeating, because I didn't want to do web development. I did briefly play around with HTML, JavaScript back in like late 90s. And then I got fed up with web, because you have all these like, compatibility in different browsers and stuff. And then I kind of looked at P5 and was like, oh, it's using this canvas thing, so it's just pixels, so it's gonna be the same on every browser. No. it's not. Turns out it's different, and Safari is messing everything up, and yeah. And then yeah, shaders was kind of the same idea. It's like, oh yeah, you can do shaders on the web, so it's gonna be exactly the same everywhere, but not at all.
No.
It's
Yeah.
just different
That
plugins
would
that
be
are
too
enabled in
simple.
different places, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's no universal thing. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm really excited about the ability to do stuff with shaders on the web, but also like, yeah, that it's kind of daunting to think how much optimization is necessary, and like how do you make sure that it runs on various devices. Like,
Well,
is
this is
there
front-end
a way to
development.
learn this the not painful way of
I mean,
just
the
stumbling
least
upon all the
painful way
problems?
is to go to create, like, something very simple at first, test it, see, and
Mm.
then add to it. You don't want to just go out and build I mean, it's never a good idea anyways to build the whole thing from start to finish and then test. You just
Yeah.
have to go slow, build out, get your shader running, see if it runs fast the way you want everywhere, and then maybe add the hash part so that you can test out how quickly all of the stuff works with your shader when
Mm.
you're minting, and then add the extra bells and whistles
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
you go.
One thing to say for sure,
Because
because
or else
Fair
you will
enough.
never find, because debugging shaders is a pain.
yeah, but
Mm.
I
You
wanted
really
to
want
say
to go
that
Yeah.
one
this,
tiny step at a time.
and despite, I must say that if you're gonna work like with something that is gonna be in the browser, beware that just like if you've done front-end development, CSS, for example, colors, is not gonna look the same
It's
in
gonna
the
be
across the
different.
browsers, and that
Yeah.
there's nothing that you can do
Yeah.
about it. Like for example, Firefox normally
Nothing.
render colors more bright in general, like either it's CSS or SVG base or like shader. So you will see them more bright than if you go to Chrome or Safari. No, so that
Oh wow, I
and you
I
didn't
mean,
know
that's
that.
cannot
already the case.
do anything about it. And another
Yeah.
thing I was gonna say, because I just recently I was specifically working on a share that was for a client that is going to be on a website, and there was this texture, no, and I have a monitor that is HD and I have a Retina screen because I'm sitting on a MacBook Pro. And if you're in the browser, like on the Retina screen, it looks very smooth. But then if you move
Mm.
that same like Chrome tab on the HD, then you could see more pigmentation. And again, there was nothing
Mm.
to do about it because you cannot fix it. It's just because it's in the browser. So if you want it to look exactly the same, then you have to create a video of it if it's like animated or something, because otherwise you have to live with it. But that's again, I wanted to say because it's the same story when you're doing like front end development with like even like typography. Like sometimes it's not the very same way that it
Yeah.
renders like Firefox and Safari. It's not like you have tiny difference and there's nothing you can do about it. So it's just you have to live with it.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's also the same, like if you do colors on a Mac, on a PC it won't look the same. And that's just because of the way each system processes colors. There's a few workarounds for that now, actually. Like in Touch Designer, if you open a regular fragment shader, they've created a function that will control for that. But you can't just take it and use it outside of Touch Designer because it's like integrated. I don't know.
Mm.
It's like something.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
and
things.
then every display, every monitor is also has a different colorimetric profile, and yeah,
Totally.
I
Exactly.
mean,
But I feel like
professionals
if you're
use these calibration tools that you put on the screen, and then it goes through, it cycles through a auto
but if you
calibration
like
thing.
if you take off your web developer hat and you put on your generative artist hat, it's just like part of the random aspect of
Yeah.
the creative process. I mean, you can spin it in a positive direction if you
No, I'm a control freak. I can't do this.
want.
It has to look exactly right. No, but sometimes it's like, especially with Safari, and I've been trying stuff recently. Actually, yeah, the more I talk about it, the more I remember, like, oh yeah, I used shaders for that thing. Like
Ah.
I was trying to update my observation series that is using feedback, like, video feedback. And I did video feedback on the CPU, which worked okay, but it had some shortcomings, especially with P5. And so I wanted to use shaders, which is the most logical way to do video
Yeah.
feedback. And yeah, it turns out like some of the things didn't work at all on Safari. So
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah. I'd be curious to talk to the girl who made Hydra. We should also put her as like a dream guest because Hydra is basically
Olivia
shader
Jack?
simplified.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you haven't had her yet?
No,
Oh no,
I just
you had
remembered her now. I need to write
yeah,
her
yeah,
down
no,
too.
you had
Forget.
what's
We
her
have
name?
her on the list. I think I asked her already.
Is she
Yeah.
on the list?
I reached out to her like last
Olivia?
year. Yes, but she didn't reply. So I think
I don't know her personally, so I
me
can't,
neither.
like, if
So that's
anyone
why
knows
it
her,
was like
send her
I
our
think
way.
stuff. But we have
She's
her on the
amazing.
list of people already. So because we thought about of her, of course. So it's one of the.
Yeah,
I think
makes
I
total
watched her
sense.
do that talk that she did about Hydra like so many times. She's so like excited about it. I love it.
She's
But yeah,
really
that whole
good.
thing runs on shaders and it runs in all the browsers as far as I know. So I would love to pick her brain. Is she on the list? She is. I see her now. Okay.
Because I remember we talked about it. Like looking for women that can do shaders. So there are not many. So she's there.
Fair enough. Well, now we've got one more because last stream we've inducted computational moment into shaders.
Yeah.
So now she's officially a shader coder.
Yes.
And yeah. Okay, but wait. Now let's reinduct you properly.
Yeah, move into the code
Moving
again.
back.
So okay, wait, I bet people who watch my streams will know that I'm gonna go on tangents, and sometimes they're gonna have very little to do
We
with the
do
topic at
too.
hand.
We do all the time. So it's good.
Yeah, I famously went on a rant about pomegranate peeling machines in.
Pomegranate, like a pomegranate?
Like
wait, how do you say that?
Yeah,
like the fruit?
A grenade, yeah, the thing with all of the things.
If you don't know
it's
how,
like the most annoying fruit to eat.
Yeah, if you don't know how they, because
apparently
it's the most
like
annoying, but you can't buy them already peeled, so you have to wonder
pomegranate.
How do they do
That's
it?
The English
pomegranate,
word.
yeah.
Yes.
So you have to wonder how they do it, and they are machines, but you have to look it up. It's fascinating.
Pomegranate machine.
Yeah. See.
Now I'm very curious.
Yes.
I'll post a link in the chat. Wow. A de-seeding automatic pomegranate processing line.
So anyway,
send it to Elithya so she can have it.
I nerd sniped you with pomegranate.
You did. That was unexpected.
Yes. Okay. UV. So
UVs.
yeah.
What are UVs?
So UVs. I know what UVs are. They are these kind of texture coordinate things. I mean, I don't know. There's texture coordinates and UV, and I don't know. Sometimes I see text coord in there, and I'm always a bit confused about all these operations that you do. I just copy paste it from somewhere if I have to use it. But basically, I guess the way it works is if you're using it in the way that we're using it to make pixel shader, fragment shader art, is that you have 0, 0 at the top left and 1, 1 at the bottom right, and then it sort of interpolates linearly through that, and you can use that to change colors, right? Make gradients and shapes.
Except that
like
actually you have the 0, 0 in the bottom. Did you say at the top? It's at the bottom.
Yeah, it's the
opposite.
So
it's at the bottom.
Because you have pixel coordinates in P5, and then at the bottom left you have UV coordinates, and then you move them to the center, and you've got normalized device coordinates. It's like so it's like a little translation.
I'm thinking in P5JS and processing.
GL frag chord is actually, if I'm not mistaken, you're getting that from your vertex shader. You're getting the position of all of the pixels, and then you turn that based on the resolution of your screen into the XY position that you want to play with yourself, which is the UV. Does that make sense?
I'm not sure.
So like the reason you have the vertex up here in the script thing is because you need that to send into the fragment shader. You need to know where your pixels are, and then you, based on that, you control for the resolution of your screen.
Yes.
And then you, from that, you store it in a vec2, which you call UV, which is basically the XY position that you've kind of fixed for your current situation.
So the fragment coordinate, is it like 0, 0 in the middle, and that's where you subtract half?
Yeah, we're taking it from there and we're normalizing the device coordinates so that when we make, a circle, it's easier than if you look in the cards we were talking about before. Patricio will do a lot of that in each line. He'll just he'll reposition it in the center, and Elithya and we like to do it at the top.
I was going to comment that line, and this is how if you're learning from the book of shaders or anywhere else, I suppose this is the basic way to get the UV. So you get those pixels that Eliza was talking about, and then you kind of grab as well the resolution from your device where you are now. So that's why you have this equation so that you can paint where you are. But then if you work with that UV and you start making shapes, they're going to be distorted because the aspect ratio is not going to be correct. So this is why we use this other formula to fix that aspect ratio, so that if you make a circle, it's not like an ellipse, or if you're like want to make a square.
I was going to ask that.
Because that's the problem. And especially once you start like, again, like thinking a little bit like front-end development, like if you start like moving that tab where you see your render, and you keep the UV like this, and you have, for example, a circle, it's gonna like become an ellipse, because as you pull, exactly, you don't have the aspect ratio kind of that is responsive, if you can say it that way. So then that's why we do this.
We found this hack and we found it easier. But if you read other people's shader code and you see them using this original way, you'll often find throughout their code a -1 + 2 or a -1 - 2, and you're like, what is that? And it's this little formula that like pushes everything into the center and corrects for that problem, which is fine. But I find it like a lot to remember that, and I think ilithya also does. And this just keeps everything in the middle, and it keeps scaling nicely with your computer size, computer screen size.
Yeah. Oh, I just remembered another time I used shaders. Now thinking about that, I made some filters for Spark AR, like for Instagram. And I was
but
playing
then it's
around
node-based, no? It's different.
No, I mean, yes, but no.
You have to bring the shader right.
Yeah, you can write custom shaders. They have their own how do they call it, like LS?
Do they have their own dialect? I don't think I've only ever used the nodes in there.
Spark SL. So there's the nodes, and then you can also write custom shaders with Spark SL, and it's basically GLSL with a few convenience functions. And it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. And so I have a filter that is like pincushion distortion, and then when you open your mouse, it just zooms in and adds some like weird, intense.
I love to
stuff.
check that
out. How did I miss that?
If you look at my Instagram,
I have played with this before. Now I remember. The dramatic zoom and the broken TV.
So dramatic zoom and broken TV. I was reusing some stuff like that I found elsewhere, but
I'll have to check that out.
But yeah, I did write some of that. And one of the fun thing was that you could basically, what's really cool with this approach is that then if you modify the UV by using you can apply all kinds of distortions to it, like a like a CRT distortion, and then it gets applied to everything that comes down the stream, which is super nice. So basically, I guess that's what Hydra is doing, right? Making this like being a video synthesizer. You can just plug things in and add distortion and things.
Yeah, and a nice little feedback system.
Okay, so that's for UVs. Then the time, okay, that's fine. And then so we define the colors of Egg3, and then to output it, we add the alpha channel here. That's all right. More shader magic here.
I'll make a little. This is like it's in between the giving and getting the position and getting the color. And you, like all of the stuff you do in here, we send back into
modulo 1.
Ooh.
Yay. Get it there.
Our lovely debugger. Thank you again to Jean Renard.
I know why it's not working, because you're trying to use mode. There's a GLSL function for what you're trying to do, which is
modulo.
mod.
It's mod.
Just write mod, and it's that. And then you have 2 parameters.
Okay.
What do you want to do today? Do you want to just like jam, or do you want to try do something specific?
Some of the pixel shader deck, right? So you understand the basics of making shapes-ish.
The basics, it's like sign distance field stuff. I would have to remember like how to draw a circle. So it would be like I was gonna write let. So float d equal, is it dist or length?
Length.
Both work, whichever you prefer.
Length
Which one is directly from the center? It's the dist or length? I can't remember. One of them takes 2 parameters, one of them takes 1. I think length takes 1. Yeah.
So yeah, and then
so you got your length from the center outwards.
Yeah, and then if we do step,
step is like an if else.
The 0.5.
The semicolon.
Don't forget your.
Because otherwise it's not gonna run.
That's I took that. Yeah.
It's a bummer if you train yourself in JS to say that it doesn't matter, and then you move into shaders. You're just like,
I mean, I've done Java before, but I got so comfortable with JavaScript that I stopped using them, and so yeah, I have to retrain my brain.
Do you see anything, by the way? Because I see an error still.
I see an error.
Still see an error. Yeah, not enough data provided for construction. Constructor, not enough.
Is that
your error?
Okay, that's it. Yeah. I still hear people subscribing on my. I don't know if it appears on my. No, it doesn't.
Okay, wait. Is it my weird comments? Is it my comments that are being a problem?
I don't know. Is it?
I think it was.
Could be.
Yeah, maybe
no,
the comment.
No.
Yeah.
It's okay. D undeclared. Oh yeah, but
that makes sense.
Okay, now I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, maybe it was the comment.
I think it was the comment.
No, constructor is
not
enough.
No.
Floats.
Step only takes 2 parameters, though. Why is it being an error?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's try again to comment. Wait, I'm gonna put back color here. Yeah, just leave the D because let's see if it can create. Yeah, okay. So the float C, why is it? Oh, I know why we on comment flow C. I can see the error now. Took me a second. So you have a floating number, and you were trying to declare here a floating number, and it needs to be a big 3 because it's a big 4, right? Yeah. So we need like to put it inside.
Yeah.
That's why we had the error.
I guess it would work if we didn't have the alpha, right? It would swizzle it automatically.
Yeah, exactly. It would just cascade across as 4.
Exactly.
Oh wait, we didn't normalize. We don't have NDC coordinates. It is still in the bottom right.
Yeah. But that's why I left it so he could see it.
Oh right.
So he could like kind of watch.
I got confused.
No, just so that you can see like where is your origin, and then with the equation with the aspect ratio, then you see. Because if you would have gone to the other one as well, again, you stretch this thing, and sometimes it's not the same.
Yeah. Cool. So. Yeah, I remember this.
Good job. Amazing.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
I remember how to draw a circle. Yay.
You could paint a circle now.
I mean, if I get stuck, I can always pull out the card.
And they're always next to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Do you remember how to smooth out the edges of a circle?
Yeah, smooth step.
Oh, you love that one.
My favorite, like the cheap way to undo.
But I don't remember the...
Oh, I think it's the other order. Yeah, you have to... Oh,
I think it does.
How you poke a hole inside. I think you're poking a hole inside your circle.
Yeah. I know.
I think you have to inverse the order.
Yeah.
Like you would do.
Oh.
That's so cool. I didn't know that was a thing. Interesting. But yeah, if you do that, normally the edges.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that would be like something like this if we want just a slightly blurry circle. Yep. So it would be something like float radius equals 5, and then r plus r minus. Or float blur equals 0.1.
Oh, you're missing the semicolons, and then it's gonna mark an error.
Oh yeah.
Because GLSL is that's
to
one
go
thing.
Behind.
It's unforgiving. It's not like JavaScript that is going to
pass behind me and add all the semicolon that I forget. Yeah, and then if we wanted, we could do like sine of t 5 plus 0.5. Ah.
Yay.
No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, it does
goes
work.
Back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
so
why do you do times 0.5 plus 0.5 instead of just like times 1? I mean, I know that times 1 would do nothing.
It was to normalize it, but actually I don't want it to be normalized. But it could be, yeah, but it gets too big, so.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, times 0.5 make it go from 0 to 1, and then we can define font 5 semicolon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's what I do when I don't know what to do.
No,
that's interesting.
Really
okay,
good.
so wait, so when you add the times 0.5 plus 0.5, that makes the bounds a little bit smaller?
Yeah, because the sinus wave gets smaller, no? So isn't it that way? Because
the
sine goes from minus. It goes from
minus
1 to 1. So you make it from minus 0.5 to 0.5, and then you offset it up, and so it goes from.
Got it.
Yeah. Usually when I code in P5, for convenience sake, I would do something like a function called 𝗙𝗀 for normalized sine, and perform it to that, so I don't have to type it every time.
Yeah.
So angle that, and then you can just.
Yeah. Well, you could do your own like new variable in here, I guess, and call it like that, so that you don't have to retype it.
Oh, you have to put the function before.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
In GLSL, you always have to define the function before you call it.
If you're gonna make a function,
nope, still not good.
It's Bob. Yeah, perfect. Oh, you have
I need
it there.
Tell it what it takes.
But it's not void. Is wait a second.
Oh
it's
no,
not
of course
void.
it's float.
Yeah.
And I need to return it.
Now it should. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, you're very quick.
Okay. I mean, all of this is pretty similar to
That's
true. Everything else,
like
every other
like
language.
If you've done P5, I don't think it's like to jump to GLSL. I suppose it's not.
Yeah, I just have to remember that I need to type my variables.
Yeah. That and no for loops.
That's
the main
thing. You can define the function later too, I guess, but you need the function prototype to be above main. So you would. I don't even know how that would work.
I've always put all of my extra functions on top. I think in shaders, people generally keep them on top.
Yeah, but you could make a prototype for the function at the top.
What do you mean a prototype?
Okay. Yeah, that's what I don't know. I mean, I know that in C you have these header files, and so you have your function, like, I guess prototypes in there, and then you define it later if you want.
Interesting.
I vaguely remember that.
Okay. Prototypes for me evoke JavaScript, like really old vanilla JavaScript. So I'm not sure I follow what a function prototype would be.
Yeah, me neither.
That's so interesting.
I'm a bit lost in there.
That.
I have no idea. I wonder if you mean like putting it in a define, because you could do that. Like here, if you want this function to be more performant, you just like wrap it up in the define instead.
Oh, it's okay. It's like what a prototype actually means. It's just like an interface before you actually.
So like this, and so just for curiosity's sake, to try it. So then would I just not define the float like this? Yeah. Variable? No, that didn't work.
No.
Would you be doing like define and then put it in one line? Is that what you mean, Eliza?
Yeah, I was.
I think I've seen like.
I meant that,
used to do that.
Where are you now? Oh, you're below.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to.
But I remember when Raphaël came, she did that at the top.
Yeah, it's at the top. Normally it should be at the top.
But then the person in the chat was saying
missing the return value.
But I have the return value. It's here.
I don't know. That's what 𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is saying.
The thing is, I don't think you need. Hold on, because and I was just doing this recently. I don't think you need the curly braces.
Right.
I'm gonna
because it's all
go
one
and
line,
look
of course.
for a moment somewhere else actually. So,
Features
and I
like
don't
that.
think you need the return. So,
Really?
give me.
How would you?
Because it's like very.
It's looking like some weird code.
You don't need to define, it says.
What?
No, but if you want to
Don't need to
write it,
define.
yeah, that's what I meant. Let me try again. So it was fine, but you don't need the return, as I remember correctly. So you only do
How do
this,
you-
and you don't need the semicolon at the end either.
But I feel like you definitely that doesn't make sense. You need a return or some brackets somewhere, because that's like the computer can't understand that. I don't.
These error messages, like this debugging thing, is cool, but it's really hard to read the text.
The red, I know it's red on
Yeah,
red. It's,
red on red.
It's
Is there somewhere we can change it? Is it somewhere? Debug drawer, error line, background red.
Where do you find the code for that?
It's in the CSS. Error color. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, why are you not working? I think normally it should work like this. Unexpected path, but eyes here.
Gonna edit that a bit.
Oh.
So here.
There.
Oh, wow.
Hey, we're back.
So yeah, this is the thing. That's why I have to check again how to do. Like when you convert your function into a define, you have to get rid of the return because it's implicit. So you shouldn't type it. Also, like if there shouldn't be any curly braces, like you have to get rid of them too. It's like implicit. You cannot have a semicolon in the end, which is very funny because GLSL is so. We were talking about it, right? So unforgiven, but when you're doing a define, you don't need that. And the other thing, when you're doing a define, I don't know why, but let me try again. I don't think you need to.
Yeah, that won't.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's wild. You don't have to define the type as well, like the type of parameter that you're using. It's kind of implicit yet again. So, yeah, pretty much it. So.
But I guess you could only do very simple functions then, because if the return is whatever comes directly after that.
Oh no, you could do even like longer ones. If you look into Shader Toy, there's some people that write defines that are like 3-4 lines because it doesn't matter the amount. But the thing is, like, you see how it's a little bit harder to read, right? Because then
I wouldn't remember.
You wouldn't remember. Really oh, is this parameter like, for example, inside? Is that a float? Is that a vec2? Like so. I suppose that the more defines that you write, you get more used to, because then you're still thinking, okay, I don't have a return here, but this is like what is inside the scope of the function.
I mean, for like a live coding show, it could be very practical to have those loaded in before you start, you know? But I feel like if I'm sharing my shader code with other people, I wouldn't do that because that would be like, they would not know. They look at it and be like, what does this function do?
That's what 𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 and 𝗏𝗀 are explaining in the chat. It's like, it's basically a substitution. So it will replace every instance of sign A by sign A, like this, which I guess it's smart enough to replace the parameter by something else. It's not purely like a substitution, right? There's a problem with your define, says Bruce. Is there? It works.
My chat is not that anymore.
What do you mean?
But in any case, what I think what we were talking about, you added the missing space. Yeah, well, it seemed to work.
Yeah, you don't need that one. You can remove it.
But yeah, that was one way, and the thing, like the prototype thing that 𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 was talking about was
tell us, because I still
was something
wonder about
different.
Trying to get back to the chat.
I'm checking the chat. So and the actual definition at the bottom, for example, this. Okay, but I felt like that's what I did before, but maybe I missed something. So yeah, float, name of the function, and then yeah, your parameter was the type, and then at the bottom, yeah, just like you would normally. Okay. Oh, I didn't have the float in there, I think. There's one thing I missed.
Where are you right now? Where are you
Before the
typing?
Line
parameter.
35. Line 35.
At line 35.
Ah,
Yeah.
you went below. Okay, that's why I was looking for you above.
Yeah.
Oh, but you have
Yeah,
another
so I
function
did.
above. You see that, right? That in line
Yeah, and
15 you
that's the
have that, and then
prototype.
you have that.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So line 15 is the prototype, and line 35 is the declaration, I guess.
Ah, okay,
But
okay.
yeah.
And why
So
would you
that's,
need like a
yeah.
prototype? Like, why would you need to redeclare it twice? Like, what's the usage of this?
I have no idea. I guess if you wanted to, if you really wanted to keep your main at the top and write your functions below, then you could do it this way.
Oh, okay. Ah, right, because yeah, that's true. Since GLSL, you have to like from top to bottom write the code. If I
Yeah.
comment this prototype, as you call it, then
Yeah,
we get an error.
then it's gonna break.
Ah, that's what you mean. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I guess it could be useful in that
Yeah.
sense. That's true, because sometimes when you're opening a shader that doesn't have the functions in a define, which is like a shorter way to write them, and you have a bunch of functions and some of them are very long, then till you have to scroll to the bottom to get to the main. But maybe you can do it like the opposite, as you were saying. So, yeah. Well, I never thought
Yeah.
about that, and I don't think nobody has taught us that. So, thank you for bringing
That's a
that
first,
in
yeah.
the table, actually. So,
Yeah.
𝗶𝗍 and 𝗏𝗏.
Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
yeah, thank you. Because
But that's what I love. We always end up stumbling onto like random bits and pieces of info.
Because now when I think about it, when you were talking about it, Raphael, maybe I've seen it somewhere. Not sure if like a shader
I've
code,
definitely seen it
but
before,
probably
but not
I was
understood
like,
what it was.
why are they defining like, you know? And now you explain that this is called like a prototype function. So, okay, makes kind of sense.
Nice.
Things come click together slowly.
It feels like made me.
They're coming quickly together slowly.
Yeah,
exactly. Everything happens.
That's a great
so
tagline
fast.
for this episode.
Like a let variable, I was thinking in JavaScript. So you define it first, and then you can.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
Because it's empty.
So.
Yeah, it's just that's so funny. Yeah.
So what else shall we do now?
No, it's up to you. You're going very well.
Things.
And we're just here to help you, to guide you. Like if you're stuck.
I made a circle. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I wonder, do you want to put like a color in the circle, or would you rather
I was
create some
thinking to distort it somehow.
Ooh, okay.
Bring a noise function then.
Yeah, let's do some noise. Let me see if I can find a simple one.
Or let's see, maybe Raphael knows a way to do it. Yeah, let's just wait, because it's not so far from P5. So
it's true.
So it could be that you can figure it out.
Behind the scenes with some functions if we need, but
syntax error.
Because I can see the way he's thinking now. Yeah, maybe he's gonna get somewhere with just like sine and cosine.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh,
interesting.
That's not what I thought.
Yeah, I imagine.
Did you? So okay.
Wait.
Yeah, we wait.
That's not what I thought I was doing, but it's interesting.
So you're adding to the UVs.
Yeah. So now we're having what's it?
What
what's
were
the
you
name
trying
of that
to
artist?
do? I mean, it's interesting to see.
I was trying to warp.
I
was trying to warp it, but like to wobble to add some wobble, but that's not
to the circle.
Doing. Yeah.
Where do you define the edges of your circle, though?
Here.
Yeah. Yeah. And so where you're adding right now, you're doing it in the UVs, I think, right?
Yeah.
And you're only adding it to the X of the UV.
Yeah. So, mhm. Okay. What if I do this? Okay. Also
I love it that it's
interesting.
kind of like fracked in a way.
I know. I was noticing the same thing. This is very interesting.
And I wouldn't think to do it like this.
So, length of UV. No, so that's not. Well, yeah. I'm gonna try it. That's not what I was trying to do, but whatever.
There are no wrong answers. It'll end up being something interesting.
Sign of.
Did you change the color of the text in the control in the?
Yeah,
Nice.
I changed it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What
so
color
now we've got
was
some
it
very
before?
stretched out circles.
I didn't even notice.
It was red on red.
It was
It was
red,
red on
yeah,
red.
like
Okay.
some
very difficult to
darker red on red. I guess.
Bad memories in the context of old JavaScript.
Should we comment
yeah,
this one here on the top and see what happens if you just only multiply the...
Gotta wiggle.
It's coming along somehow.
Okay, so
Gotta wiggle. Interesting.
But I commented your other, like line 21. So
Yeah.
I only left the...
Yeah, because that's what was dividing up the
exactly.
space.
So that the sign is only in the...
Okay, yeah. And this, if I multiply it by...
So I wonder what would happen if what you were calculating now, you did it somewhere like in the smooth step instead of in the length.
Oh.
That's what I'm wondering.
You can always try.
So, wait,
Because,
sorry,
like,
I didn't catch that.
Well, I was saying I'm wondering if all of the stuff that you're doing after the length, like you do times sign, like all of that, I wonder if you did it within the smooth step somewhere, if it would get closer to what you're trying to do. Because length UV is always just going to say how far is this XY coordinate from the center point. So it's creating that bubble. Whereas here you've got... It also might be easier to do it with just a plain step function because it's going to be clearer. The edge that you're testing against.
I see what you're trying to say. Okay, so like this.
I think it's just, it's more straightforward when you start there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go grab, just for the sake of it, from the book of shaders. I'm going to grab a handy little piece of data if my website, my browser will load. Where would I get that? I think I get it in shaders.
Okay. That's still not at all what I was thinking I was doing, but
I feel like maybe if I add this, will it help at all? I'm gonna add just on line 14 a little helpful piece of information available to you now to use should you so desire.
Pi, yes.
I'm gonna put that there in case you want to play with it. But you don't have to. It's just there.
Yeah.
But there's no wrong answer. Like right now, we've got meditative pebbles. I feel like it's one of those apps where it's like take a deep breath and exhale.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is nice. Oh yay! My comments are updating again. I can see what people are saying.
So, if we wanted to do like an angle, like we need some kind of it's like, or we need a dot product of something,
or
if you want,
or I was gonna say 810. What kind of angle are you talking about?
Easier.
Yeah, with 810 sometimes it's easier.
Like the position of the pixel in a circle around the middle. Like
a position of the circle around. Let me check. So I know that A10 gets you the what does it get you again? It gets you the ratio. It lets you trace a circle. Where did I put? I literally just taught a workshop where I taught this. Where did I put my notes? Shit. Let me see if I can find them.
Oh,
Is
there
that
you
what
go.
you wanted? Oh, okay.
Kinda.
Okay. So I'm not sure when you were talking about the dot, but A10 normally gives you an angle. So
I mean, it wasn't what I initially wanted to do, but it's kind of nice now.
Yeah.
So plus.
Because I feel like dot product is more if you were doing remerging than 2D, but I could be wrong.
Not necessarily, but I think when somebody wants to grab an angle, normally you reach to A10, I think.
That's what I mean. Like I've seen dot product used a lot in remerging, but not so much in just like doodling in 2D. But I mean, I only understand it in that context because it's like
it's coming along very nicely, Raphael, already.
It looks good.
Like a sun.
Yeah, it looks really good.
A dark sun. Very Berlin vibes, by the way. Since you're like in Berlin, it's very like Berlin.
Representing it.
Yeah. Black and white vibes.
Yeah, I like the _𝗏 in the middle. It's definitely not gonna
up art.
Not gonna translate very well in the stream, but
you think?
It's lovely. I think it looks fine.
Doing okay. On Twitch, it looks nice, and it reminds me kind of like. Have you guys? I know you because you reposted Alethea. Did you see the stuff that Andreas Geisen was doing with his like text? And it's got this kind of like chunky feel to it. Have you seen it yet, Raph? I'll send it to you. It's super nice.
Yeah, I think he posted it on Twitter.
ASCII art animation, but in like 3D. He did like ASCII meta balls. It's super nice.
And with typography, like donuts going in, like inside the letters. It was very cool.
I saw it on Instagram this morning.
Somewhere it looks like a fractal. No, it doesn't.
I wonder if we normalize this. Give me a second. This is just me.
In the lore of my channel, I don't like fractals, but it's not that simple.
It's bigger.
And it doesn't really go all the way around, so I guess we need to use pi something.
I was trying to. I wanted to do tau, but we don't have tau, so because normally if you want to kind of normalize it, so then it's like less of those rays, I think. No, so when you normalize it, it's a little bit less.
I like it though.
Yeah, me too. So far, loving the Berlin vibes.
Okay, so what I would like to do is now to change the length of these petals based on time and assign another sine wave. So that would be
the debug for I'm gonna just meanwhile you think to reply to Denis-ish. Denis-ish. Oh my god, I cannot say your handle.
You can call him 𝗏𝗍. You can call him 𝗏𝗍.
𝗏𝗍. So the debug that you were asking that we have right now on screen is not from CodePen. So CodePen has actually a debug, yes, indeed, but we're not using that one. In fact, Sean Selmer, who is a creative coder, he did that for us. So we are implementing that debugging of GLSL that it's appearing on our screen via JavaScript. And he was just very wonderful. So Sean, if you're listening out there, thank you so much for giving us this.
Grateful. Constantly eternally grateful.
Because normally, when you're doing shaders on the browser, you could like debug them with the console. But then it's really, really hard before you figure out, because always it's a long error. So that's why he did this one for us. So it's not from CodePen, by the way.
No, it's not. Okay. I don't know if ilithya, is it still streaming for you? Because my Twitch just crashed and says like, there's an error.
Oh, mine is still streaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, good. Then it's just my internet being stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe just refresh.
Well, I've been kicked out of the chat, so I can't comment or see anything.
Oh no.
Just refresh.
I don't know what.
I am. Okay. It's just right now it's just spinning. Okay. Let me actually just close the whole.
I see what you're doing now. You're spinning the.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What did you do? Another sine wave.
It's also not what I was trying to do. But,
oh, okay.
Are you trying to do one at a time? I think you would need to put an ID on each of the rays.
What were you trying to do?
An ID?
But what was he trying
to do?
Well,
if you want to get each ray to move independently.
I was trying to create a wave with the length of the petals, like that they shrink and grow. And I guess they kind of do, but...
all at once.
But all at once, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah. But maybe it's because I've been trying to figure out how to do this properly for a long time. I feel like you would have to put some kind of ID. Twitch is not being nice to me. Oh, wow.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wait, how did you do that then?
Oh, with your 𝗙𝗀 function, actually. You normalize as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait, what happened? Did you edit something?
There's something
there's
missing
a space.
between the
There's a
P and
space.
the L. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reason.
Cool.
Great.
That's trippy.
Okay, yeah, interesting.
Very trippy.
So that's different from what I thought it would look like.
Ah, okay. I thought that's what you wanted to do with the rays. So.
Sort of. I guess maybe it's negative. Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. It's fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
It is. Like the Berlin vibes continue to evolve.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because are you wanting to make the thing be on the outside of the lines, the wave action?
Yeah, I was thinking we could, like an envelope for the petals in a way, like a sine wave envelope for the petals. And it's more like I'm tweaking the frequency now, so that's not what I wanted to do.
Ooh,
and when I do tweak the length,
that's like very moiré though. Yeah. I like the direction.
Yeah. But that doesn't. Wait, because I'm multiplying the time.
Yeah, it's really
fast. Time I want to multiply, it's the angle.
Oh, great.
Cool. Yes, there you go.
There we go.
Yay.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to do.
Oh, like a flower. That's what you were talking about, petals.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
This is cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very nice. That's really cute. This is okay. Interestingly, it's reminding me of what 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 did. Do you remember when he did the thing with the sun in the middle, also in the rays?
That was Bruno.
No, it was Bruno.
That was Bruno.
Bruno, my bad. Sorry. That was definitely Bruno.
Yes, but you're right.
But like totally different approach. But I like the point of perspective in the middle, and I love the ray edges. It's so pretty.
Yeah. No, and the moiré that it's happening only like in the middle. So.
Yeah, and I'm thinking it would be nice to constrain those, because I'm not so it's kind of nice. I'm not so happy that it always goes down all the way, like the white goes all the way to the center.
Okay.
So what defines that?
So you want the black dot to stay there a bit, kind of like to not completely.
I mean, there's a radius. The radius basically doing that. Yeah. But that's not exactly that.
I think that's the sine wave.
No, wait, where's the R? It's here.
Yeah.
So wait, would you want to normalize it again? What did you do? You did.
No.
It's already normalized.
It is normalized.
It's already normalized because it's inside this end sign.
Oh, right, my bad. It's in the function. Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
Obviously.
But maybe you have to make it even smaller. Yeah.
just add an offset, says Tera.
I'm going to make it even. Maybe you need a. Oh yes, I need to make it bigger.
Small.
I mean, I technically do already have an offset here.
They're going to go all the way down again?
Yeah,
it still disappears. Okay, so that's not the right idea.
Oh, what did I just do?
Sorry, I'm going to stop. No, that was me. That was my bad.
No, that was...
But you weren't too far. I think it was...
But I was playing with the code, so I think we were changing things at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Where are you, Raphael? Because I don't see your cursor.
I'm on line 36. I'm trying to make the petals shorter.
Okay.
So that we can see the end of them, and yeah, because I wanted to see to see that effect where they grow and shrink.
Very trippy.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
And that's really nice.
Look
at you.
Oh, somebody
you don't touch
to
shaders for years, and you come out with this right out the gate. That's super nice.
Yeah.
I cannot see the chat. This is very frustrating.
Somebody suggested to do this offset that I added like
200 is too much.
0.5. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, person. Again, what was his name? Richie. What did you say? Like it sounded like Russian.
Rishi.
Richie. Yeah, I added this offset that he suggested here in line 30, and now your ball never disappears.
Yay.
So it's always
it doesn't go so small.
Yeah.
On line 30. Oh, plus 0.5. Okay. I wasn't far. I was multiplying though. That's definitely not the right direction. Because for sure it'll shrink.
But you were getting close because multiplying could give you this other effect too, that depending the length that you wanted.
Well, that's it. That's what I was gonna ask you, Raph. If you knew the analogy of plus and multiplication in shaders for layering and its connection to like Photoshop kind of. So like multiplication is like you're actually like layering the two things one on top of each other, and then adding is like you're actually like adding it to that initial color space or shape space or like whatever.
Yeah.
So then sometimes you'll get very different results, and you'll be like, wait, why? That's why.
They're speaking about yoga now?
Oh,
wow.
We're talking about yoga. Okay.
Wow, yeah.
We can talk about yoga.
Rishi like yoga? Is that a yoga term, Rishi, or what? Rishi? Because Computational Mama said Rishi like yoga. So is Rishi like a yoga term?
I don't think so.
I guess, but I don't know. I've never heard it.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of reishi. It's a very relaxing mushroom.
Or maybe I'm missing the context of why Computational Mama suddenly randomly asked.
Stressed out and can't sleep. Have some reishi tea. There is a rishi yogashala in India and in France.
It means guru. Okay.
Ah, okay, really? Oh, now we learn about something new.
Okay, so
Guru. Oh yeah.
So what if we do this now?
Even
it's true. I did know that.
Super thin.
The Rishi of Bangladesh.
I like that. It's very like pixel art almost, because it gets so tiny.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're doing so fine, Raphael, with your memory. So
yeah, you're really doing great.
Enjoying the way that you're tackling.
I'm impressed, but not surprised
the
at all. I'm impressed, but not at all surprised. Yeah. Of course.
Okay, where can we take that now?
Well, okay. So, do we like the monochrome? Are we good in black and white, or do you want to?
We could play with colors. I'm
like
just
it. It's very Berlin, like him.
No, I don't want to.
Just very comfortable with black.
If you want to keep poking and doing shapes, we could totally do that too. I'm just throwing good ideas. We need some color. Oh, you get a vote for colors in the chat.
Color. Yeah, she wants color. So, color. Yeah, sure, color. All right. So let me think.
You're allowed to say no, though. You can say no.
No, I'm thinking.
You don't have to take all requests.
What if
we sometimes don't take each
request,
by the way.
Take 3 C1 equal Vec 3 0, 0, 0.
Oh, somebody, computational mama said that she was hoping for 𝗙𝗶𝗱 like your NFT projects. So you have to come
well,
back.
We talked about this at the beginning.
Yeah, you have to come back so that we do March. Maybe we do it
we're gonna have
together,
to
like
do
when you
another
come
episode.
back and do some refraction of light.
Yeah. I'll review. You watch the tutorial, I'll review the tutorial.
Yeah,
and then we can come
it would
back
be
and
great because I actually haven't
together.
played with that with ray marching. I do ray marching sometimes,
Yes.
but I haven't done this whole refraction of light. You sent me that a long time ago, but of course,
so
like
good.
1,000 things
But
I want to do.
Maybe,
But maybe I'll do it in
you
that
guys will
episode.
maybe
already.
I think you're missing the semicolons.
There's like actually.
So of course,
There's like actually like a refract function that doesn't work in the browser. That's what it was. Now I remember. The literal whole point of that tutorial is about how to use the refract function, and it doesn't work in the browser. So yeah.
Okay, so
you
that.
have 4 colors.
Then let's say mix.
This is 𝗙𝗶𝗱𝗀's, one of 𝗙𝗶𝗱𝗀's main.
Yeah, well, I use a lot of colors, so I do need to use mix quite often.
So how do you do mix again?
It's 3 values.
I guess
the first parameter, the first 2 parameters are the one you wanna like kind of mix, and then the third one is interpolation. The third value.
The degree of mixing, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Somebody was asking if his color codes are supported in GLSL. No, they're not. You have to grade RGB. You have to kind of think
values,
RGB spectrum all the time. So you could have a tool on the side if you have like hex code colors, and then you have to translate to RGB in order to grade them into GLSL.
Yeah.
Because it's not like P5 that you can just enter a string of whatever, like HSL or even the name of a color.
I just use the Adobe Color, color.adobe.com.
Yeah.
You get both. It's very easy.
Can I? Is this supposed to work?
Hold on.
Like, can you mix 2 vec3s?
Yes, but you were missing a semicolon.
You mix 2 vec3s by a float.
The semicolon was missing.
Oh, ooh, it's just the semicolon. That. Ooh, it popped.
So because
there you go.
Yay!
That looks very cute.
Love it. The 𝗏 disappears in here, though. Do you see? I don't see the 𝗏 anymore.
Yeah.
I can see it's there, but it's not as like the red makes it kind of like go away.
It's true.
Sun.
Ooh. Got that Ukraine colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look so pretty.
And so if we wanted to do the background, I'm confused.
What do you want to do now?
My brain's exploding. So well. I'm thinking like whatever, like if we wanted to do the background with stripes, for example, how would we do that?
Okay, so then I would say so you have your current UV space, right? I would say maybe you want to make another UV space and have that be a layer. And then you mix those 2 layers together. Because it's by using the UVs to calculate where everything is that you're creating these shapes, right? So if you want to create a full extra thing of lines underneath, I mean, unless you know the math to do it. But I found, and I've seen it used a lot. Yeah, so like up here you can do, before you start messing with any of the UVs down here in like A10, for example, you use that. So before you do that, you'd want to be like,
but we haven't tweaked the UV, so I don't think you need an extra UV in this case. You can just define like
if you want like a layer of lines.
So if I do float s equals,
because if he creates a new variable, you don't need a new UV. Just create a new variable, for example, for the grid or whatever, or stripes, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then in there
s, and it's going to be s UVX.
You're gonna do it with sign. Interesting. I was gonna suggest either fract or mod.
0.5.
And then you add the layer and it
yeah.
should work, I think. But it's okay. Maybe try with your sign. I mean,
yeah, no, do it your way.
do it your way, and if it doesn't work, then we use
we
fract.
had one.
Because I think you were kind of like...
But I
it's
feel
gonna
like
be smooth. So
I feel like if you fract the current UV space, you're gonna obviously influence the sun. You can't do it without another UV space.
I don't think so, because he's
I
doing
could be
it
wrong.
below. So GLSL, that's why I was telling you, remember the last time in the episode with computational mama, like when we were like offline, I told you that because I was like, oh, why I couldn't do it when we were like online. You don't need a second UV when you're because GLSL in that sense,
The order of
the
code,
it reads from
top to bottom.
exactly. So if you tweak the UV below the sun and everything that you did, it shouldn't like disturb anything else that was above. So
but everything gets added and sent back into the... I feel like it will anyways, but I mean, I'm not married to my intuition changes the more I learn. So like, I could totally be wrong, but I really feel like you need a second UV space if you're gonna, because in the end, you're adding all of those values and they all get funneled into that final C that you put in your frag color vec4.
Well, not really, because he's making this like big 3s variable. So he's only like, for example, he's doing the frag just inside that space. So, but I think I kind of know what you mean. I mean, you could do like a second UV. I think it's only like the way that one can work in our brains. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So because it wouldn't be wrong to do a second UV. I think it's quite fine, and maybe, but you don't necessarily need to. I think so.
I'm curious. I would love to. Yeah, because to me it.
Dimension mismatch. Do I need to explicitly convert it to
Hold on.
vec3? I'm at line 45.
Yes, because it was a float.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Oh.
Okay, so I feel like
there's
more orange on one side than the other, but I...
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Ooh, I love that. I don't know if you did it on purpose, but I love
No, that was not what I was going for, but I like it.
Yeah, I love it.
Great. Very cute.
Okay, no, 5 was good. 5 was good. Okay. And so if I did fract instead, I was going for the background, but I... Yeah. Okay.
It is the background. It is. It's just that...
I was going for the background behind the sun.
In the background of the sun, you mean?
Yeah.
You want it to be where the blue is, yeah.
Yeah.
Then, hold on a thought. Where are you? Because you mix everything in order to
put them together. So he mixes in here. On line 47 is where he mixes it all in. This is the creating of the lines.
Yeah.
Line 45.
So
and
Raph's killing it. He is killing it.
You
cheering you on in the chat.
Oh, you like the gradient. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, but I'm still curious how you would do the background then.
Let me try something. Hold on. You have stripe color here, but in the end you were changing just the sun. We can...
I'm so curious if we can do this without an extra set of UVs.
Yeah, let me try. Let's see if
my mind will be blown. So I really, but all, I mean, yeah, of course it's always, there's like a million ways to do everything, but there's this...
You could do it a step, no? Step of sine of UVX. Step of n sine of UVX.
Yeah.
A step of sine of UVX.
Right. Yeah, step, sine.
So it's gonna be more like less gradient?
Yeah, the lines will be more defined.
I think you're missing, hold on, you're missing the second value. Yeah.
5.
There.
Yeah.
And wait, I'm gonna comment my line a second. Are we missing something? I think you're missing a parentheses, I think.
Oh, did I?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
so then it's
see?
like, yeah.
But how do we invert that then? But then your sun will become blue.
Yeah, so see, we have stripes now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and so now it feels like to me like the sun is like a cutout, and then there's like a layer
Yeah,
underneath.
I was going for the opposite. I mean, it looks
Yeah,
fun. It's nice,
Yeah.
but
it is interesting.
Did you want it then like
Well, this is reminding me of
you
like
can
what
put
we did with blend mode.
if you do the other coordinate, then it's the other way. But I don't know if
yeah.
We have now we've got like the Catalan flag or something. That Catalan flag.
Yeah, definitely has a flaggy
Some
flaggy vibe.
yeah, that's
flaggy
true.
vibe.
Even more now.
So okay, but okay. So what are we doing? A mix. So stripe color mix. S was.
You're the first guest we've had on who's actually been able to keep up with his code and the chat simultaneously. Like none of our guests ever type in the chat, but this is because you're a pro streamer.
I do.
I mean,
I do
streaming
this twice a week.
Twice a week.
So,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's, so yeah, you get used to it. I'm still really impressed by streamers who play like something like Trackmania or like first-person shooters and are on top of their chat all the time. Like, thanks for the donation.
True, because you have to move.
How do you do this? And they read messages. They're like, how is that possible?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of multitasking.
Because I can stop coding to read the chat. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you stop that in CS:GO or Valorant or whatever, you get shot. Yeah. So okay, but I still don't get. I still don't fully get what I'm doing, and why. Like, how would I bring the stripes to the back?
So if we wanted, do you want the sun to be blue? Like, what would you?
I don't care what color the sun is, but I just want the background to be striped instead of the sun, right?
If I do that, isn't that what we usually do, Ilithya, when we're lost?
Okay, no, yeah.
I just inverted all the colors.
No, but it's
it inverted the color space, but not the layer.
I'm trying to analyze the mix in here, the C. So in the color you put the stripes,
and then you put. What if I did
okay.
So like if we sorry, I'm also doing something like this instead.
Mix them backwards. Now we both inverted the mix.
Yeah, I was.
Yes, there you go. Like, so that was C here. Like, yeah. Thanks, Tara.
So we did it in two places. We did it on line 47 and 49. Yeah, but that might be my fault.
Can you go back to because I think it was only line 49 that needed to change.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Because you changed the colors, I think.
Yeah.
So.
That's what
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely has some kind of Spanish vibe to it.
It's got we're in
more.
Yeah, I just got a text from my friend being like, "You just made the flag."
C2. So if we do C4.
I feel like all we are missing now is it's like a little star or white star.
Now it definitely looks more Spanish with no blue in there. And
yeah.
I have to say, I do prefer the blue. I feel like it pops more, but it's your composition.
Yeah.
I want to bring the black in somehow.
Gorgeous.
Oh, what did I do? I want to bring the black in at some.
It was good.
In some way.
Yeah.
Where do you set the blue?
It's here, line 48.
C2.
Okay, stripe color.
C2, I think.
It's C2.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could maybe mix C2 before you use it,
or
with blue or something, and see if you can
or are you happy with the
kind
stripes? Maybe in one of the stripes color.
Add some white, and you get. Oh, I forgot the white.
You need the white if you want to be like full on.
No.
Wait, what are you typing somewhere?
Yeah.
Mina.
I lost you. Where are you? Oh, you went up.
Yeah, but that means you need to add some white and some black.
50, 51. I mean, you can take the C and like remix it, but then I think all of the colors will change.
I was gonna
How would we
suggest
do like
you can
more than 2 types of stripes then?
you can change the stripe color to black and white instead of red and yellow.
We need
but I
all
think
the
he wants
colors.
both.
It's
He
very
wants both.
important.
Oh, okay.
It's
So I
very
feel like
that we
okay,
get
so
all the
where
colors.
did you make the original lines? Stripe color? No. Here.
S.
So then I feel like you would have to make another stripe color and then mix
on top of
this into like the new stripe color. Now you're adding another layer.
Yeah.
But then maybe you want to turn the stripes. You want to make them like this way so that you see the difference properly.
But then it's gonna be a different, like a
So,
grid.
like-
So then it's not gonna be the
Yeah,
effect
so,
of the stripe
yeah.
that he wanted, maybe. Because if you put like stripes
be
and the
like-
other way, it's like a square grid.
Then you could like define C3 and C4. No, you would need C4 and C5. And then underneath, I'm pseudocoding, but I could be wrong. You would remix here with the C plus the new stripe color. Something like that. I think. But I usually do this with multiple layers of UVs. I find it more clear.
Okay.
Because then I like have my layers, whereas here we're really like we're layering in the main layer.
Yeah, I'm riffing in the main layer.
Yeah. So like in Photoshop, I was one of those people who use a lot of like masks and like layers and folders.
Yeah, I do this in P5 all the time. I create buffers, and it's terrible because P5 actually doesn't have it's not well set up for having off having buffers. And that's something that actually Dave made a really nice library for called what's it called, like P5 frame buffer. The problem with P5 and buffers is that they each have their own WebGL contexts, and that's really not optimal. And so the more layers you create, or the more buffers, they're first of all, they're all canvas elements added to the DOM, which is not a big deal, but that's something to know. And then they each have their own WebGL context. And what P5 frame buffer does is it allows you to reuse the same WebGL context for all the layers.
I think I just found
so
it.
it's much
Yeah,
exactly. It's very optimized for that. So I have started using it for some things, but I'm still not understanding all the WebGL parameters and setting stuff very well. So sometimes there's things that don't work, and I need to ask. But yeah, I think P5 WebGL. But from what I've heard, it was never really meant to have a WebGL mode initially.
Yeah,
so
it's not good.
There, but it's not really.
It's not really
great.
performant, I would say.
No, it wasn't
you
made
can
for
make
that.
it. You can make it more performant. Yeah, but I think at some point I will have to learn Three.js, but I've been procrastinating.
But Bruno has the best course for it, and he keeps releasing more material. It's wild.
Oh, you mean like the Three.js?
Three.js journey, yeah.
I bought it, and I never started it.
Same. I got through chapter 1, and then I was like, I hate the browser, but I want to do it anyways because he gives so many good tips. For just like general stuff that you can do elsewhere. The guy Terra7, the person I should say in the chat, was much more eloquently saying what I was trying to say before.
Yeah. So you have stripes 1,
yeah,
like stripes 1 and like 3.
Clearly, I need a second coffee, but
2. And I need to use the bathroom.
We can take a pause. Also,
yeah, you can. You can step out at any moment, by the way. If we didn't mention that in the beginning, you can always go and we can stay.
We don't need to go until 5.
We stay here. So.
No, but I'm having fun. I do need to. Yeah, no, that's fine. I think I have a call at some point, but it's at 3, so.
Okay.
You working on a Sunday?
So.
No chill between the stream and the call and the next.
I got a message from Miko from Vertical Crypto, and she was like, "Oh, can we have a call?" And I'm like, "Yeah, how about Monday?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm busy Monday, but how about tomorrow?" And I'm answering your message on a Saturday, and you're offering to call on a Sunday.
On a Sunday.
But yeah, no, I mean, she's lovely, and
And you
I'm
have
curious
time.
about the project, so I will talk to her. Yeah, and I do have time.
You do have time. No, chill. Yeah, so you want to do 2 layers of. You already have a layer of stripes.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing now, but
no, you're good. You're good.
It's going well.
Line 50,
So
51.
you have different colors. You have different length or thickness of them.
I could offset that like plus 0.
Oh, you're offset. Oh, yeah, right. Not thickness and the
whatever.
offset part.
And then mix them. So mix like 3. I don't get it.
Oh, you want to mix them before you implement them to see?
I think he wants. Yeah, you need to combine them with mix.
3 stripe.
Tara is full of good ideas. Tara7, thank you.
I think that's your friend, right, Raphael? You said.
Stripe 2. I mean, this the chat is full of people who do watch my stream.
Yeah, or
so
Raphael knows
grateful.
this
Thank
person. I feel like
dropping
they're
by
from his chat.
s02e7.
They seem to know each other.
Yeah, I thought of that. Separating them, but yeah, I just want to do a quick test. And there it would be. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing.
That's okay.
You've been saying that since the beginning, and honestly,
and you're doing great.
It's fine. So
I feel like probably.
There's a
typo
somewhere.
Semicolon again.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Oh no, that did not.
Okay,
work.
we're back.
So you have stripe C2. You have stripe and stripe 2 together.
Okay, so let's do that. S1.
Oh.
S2.
But you don't have an S2.
Oh, I need to make them.
You're gonna make it,
okay.
yeah.
I see. Oops. Yeah, because you could even change then the amount of stripes, I suppose.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I can see them changing now. Yeah.
Okay, I see some black in there.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
So you have everything that you wanted.
Like a large white chunk.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. They're divided up differently.
All the colors.
Yes. Hey, cool.
Ooh.
Nice.
Still like very flaggy vibes.
Damn.
Now it's like Germany.
The
German vibes.
Shout out. You've got some Montreal. Yeah.
Oh, it's Montreal?
Isn't it?
Oh, no. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Are you being sarcastic?
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's another.
It's
more channel lore. Sorry, I'm contaminating your channel with my burbsness lore.
Have you done a challenge with Montreal before?
No, and it's not gonna happen. Because no, I genuinely dislike these compositions by Montreal.
That's why somebody asked for it. Who said? I think Tom.
Yeah.
Tom, I saw in a tweet.
The message.
Tom said that on a tweet that you were supposed to do a train with Montreal, and I was like, why?
Yeah.
I figure like it's a local joke between you and your people.
Yeah, it is. But yeah. So I think there's 2 reasons. The first is because it was used in this horrible French TV cooking show by what's his name? Yeah, a famous French chef, 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀. He had he had a show called Bon Appétit, bien sûr, and he's scary. He's like Palpatine in a somehow 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 returned, and
wow.
And so yeah, it was super scary, and they were using the Mondrian. Like the aesthetic, the habillage, the visual of the show was Mondrian stuff. It was like really super ugly. So I was traumatized by that show.
It's not great.
And yeah, and then I feel like it's kind of lazy. I try not to judge, people, and especially if you're a beginner or whatever, like don't listen to any of that. Doesn't matter. But I feel like for like people who should know better shouldn't use the Mondrian palette.
Okay.
and you're
Okay.
and you're on FX hash and you're going around and you're looking at features and then bam, the Mondrian palette pops up and
True.
it like you, yeah, it's my very subjective.
If you guys click
Very
on the link, you'll
subjective
see the
taste.
logo to the show is
Oh, okay.
very
Oh, you put it
Mondrian.
there. Let me put it on the
Yeah.
screen.
Oh yeah,
You get to see the chef and the logo of his show. It is really wild. He just like il l'a pompé, genre like that's so
yeah,
cool.
that was completely. I mean, they changed it over time. Like
Yeah.
the later version was a little tweaked and it wasn't so
Yeah.
close.
With
But
purple.
the beginning,
Yeah. You can
and they
definitely
made it like this horrible kind of 93D in the opening credits. Ugh.
Yeah. That's really funny.
That's so
Okay,
funny.
okay. So we won't say that that's the reference.
See your trauma
Say
on that.
yeah, I'm quick with the links today. Yeah, I've got like 3 browser pages.
So yeah, no, you see like the one at the bottom more like if you scroll down, you have the old logo. It's,
so bad.
yeah. So yeah, there you go. Yeah. No, I think that's cool. I'm happy.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm happy with it.
I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah,
we got all of the layers in one single UV layer. I'm
You're surprised.
I mean, you can either be impressed or horrified.
Yeah.
I think it's
no. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think for me, for just like clarity, I like to like see my
Yeah.
layers and be like, I have UVs for this and UVs for that. But I don't know which one is probably more performant if you do it all in one like this.
I don't know either, but for me,
I think
I like to use one because in my mind, I feel like it's more performant. But maybe like I have no idea. But
I mean, I would assume, yeah, because then you're not like duplicating.
Yeah, because I think like, why would I need to make a duplication if I don't need to? But that's just my developer brain. I was gonna say, which might not be accurate to this too, because I'm really into clean code and those things when I can. So that's why would I create?
Yeah.
But
also. Yeah.
I was gonna say like the best is like everybody should just do the way that they're comfortable with, because that's the other way that I wanted to say that, especially when you're doing creative coding, I think that there's no right or wrong unless you find like your own path of like writing things. So how you feel that clarity, because we all think and have a perception of things different in our brain. So just go with what it's easier.
It's true. I think for me, the layers really helped me understand like what I was doing when I was dividing up UV space and stuff. Plus, in the pattern section on the book of shaders, Patricio does that. I think because he's translating things differently, though, not actually because of the layers. So I think what you're saying makes sense. Like when you were like, no, we don't actually need two UV spaces. We don't want. But then I think with movement, it gets trickier. But yeah, this is great.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you ended up
different UV spaces allows.
I mean, for someone who hasn't touched shaders in years, like I'm pretty
exactly. I'm really impressed because
I have touched shaders, but I haven't really used them creatively that much. So yeah, no, it's a lot of fun.
Cool. Yeah. I'm really excited. If you keep this up and you dig into the refractive glass,
yes, I really
want. Pizzas.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh yeah.
For sharing that one. That's I'm really excited about it. Yeah, I saved it some.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it's just that refract function in GLSL that you're gonna have to figure out how to. And when you do, let me know because I'm still looking.
Yeah. I'm sure I will either ask you or ask Dave, who's the master of everything everything WebGL. Or Kajik. There's like we have a few WebGL masters in the community as well. So
definitely.
There's a Discord, by the way, of shaders. Like if you is it Shader Zone, Eliza?
Are you in there? Shader Zone.
Yeah. So I love it.
I posted the.
Whenever I have issues, I go there and people respond. Like sometimes not ASAP. So, but eventually, like somebody comes in and. So it's good.
Yeah, no, it's the best. Connor is such good vibes. Connor Bell, who is also so good at shaders. And he does insane like 3D fractal animations and created this whole like VR world that I tested out once, and it was so good. But he created that Discord, and he was very specific about how he wanted it to be like an encouraging space, and I think he succeeded. Everyone is so nice in there.
Yeah, Patricio also responds a lot.
Yeah, Patricio.
Yeah.
He's amazing. I love him. I also had it. I know you had it on the stream, right? And he was one of my first guests on
For us too,
on
I
my own
think.
stream.
On your stream,
And
yeah, it's true. I think it was around the same time that we
Yeah,
had
I
him on.
think
Like he
so.
went.
yeah,
I think he
probably.
was on yours before he came here. I would love to have
Such
him
a
back.
wonderful, such a wonderful human. He's
So
lovely,
nice.
adorable,
Yeah. Very
and so
generous.
talented. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Generous
extremely
with
generous with
resources.
all the tools that he's building.
Yeah.
Huge admiration for him.
Yeah.
But if people want some also like to join another nice community, I have my own Discord.
Drop it in the chat.
Yeah.
We
Put
love
it there,
like
and then I
Discord.
will put it up in the screen because I already
𝗶𝗶𝗱 nest.
Discord.
And there's lots of P5JS people there, but also shader people. Shader people. And we run the don't have the Discord.
Did you put that on the chat?
But yeah, we.
By the way,
I just put it in there.
Why I don't see it? Which chat?
It's in the Curiously Minded chat.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It's just under Nicole saying Patricio runs Shader Zone. Patricio doesn't run Shader Zone, Nicole. That's Connor. Connor created Shader Zone.
Ah, really?
Patricio is in Shader Zone. Patricio, they made him a channel. I mean, maybe it changed, but I remember when Connor created it.
Wait,
no, you're probably right.
Because like the logo of Shader Zone is also like Connor's work. So I feel like it's still Connor. But Patricio's like so reactive in there. It's wild.
So we're running this weekly coding challenge, which is like code agnostic. You can use whatever. If you use P5, GLSL, Touch Designer. It's not specific to P5. We vote for a topic every week. Yeah, no, you should join. Absolutely.
I've been playing in Touch though, so then I was like, oh, P5. But okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, it doesn't have to be P5. I mean, I'm a little more able to comment on stuff if people use P5, but I installed Touch Designer recently because somebody made a submission with it. So I haven't had the chance yet to do a review, but you can also not use a computer. That's true.
True. You could just like doodle and draw.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a specific challenge that was non-computer. Then people were doing stuff with paper and found materials and all sort of stuff. That was a lot of fun. But I mean, even if the topic isn't that, we have a list of kind of modifiers, diversifiers for the challenge, which I should share more often. I kind of dropped it, but there's a bunch of those. Let me see if I can find it. Diversifiers.
I'm trying to find your.
And you have a book club? I'm lurking in your Discord now.
Yeah, there's a book club channel. It's maybe not the most active, but it's there. And
can you put that Discord page on the Twitch, because somehow I couldn't see it, so I couldn't put it on the screen.
Sharing Discord again.
Yeah, he just shared it again. Do you see it?
Yes, because I don't know why my Twitch is glitching sometimes, so I think I was missing some messages. Now I realize.
It happened to me earlier.
And for people who do want to do P5, if you're on Open Processing, there's we have a partnership with Open Processing now, and so you can submit your creations directly on Open Processing, and they are automatically posted to the Discord, so you don't need to go post it there. I'm very grateful to Sinan for doing that. He volunteered that integration, and that's
how do you have to put like a tag or something to make it appear in
you put it in that curation. I just posted the link.
Oh right, my bad, sorry. Okay.
No worries.
I'm bookmarking this. It'll give me a reason to play in P5 again.
And so we're on the homepage of Open Processing.
Super cool.
I'm trying to put everything when you're speaking on screen so people can see it too. Stained glass.
Where does 𝗶𝗱s come from?
I like to draw. If you go to my Instagram, you will see it.
Your Instagram. We have to pull your Instagram as well.
I remember you did an NFT with all of the 𝗶𝗱s at some point.
Yeah, sometimes I blended it with code, but recently I haven't done that.
Do you do this in like Procreate? Like what do you use?
Yeah.
Wow. I have it on my iPad. I've been like, I need a good excuse to learn it.
It's cool. Yeah, I think you need to find the tools that work for you and find
Yeah.
a good workflow, and then after that,
The
it
birds are
gets
so
really
cute.
fun.
Yeah.
They look very hand drawn and like not computery. It's interesting.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah. I had
into with
to
Procreate.
tweak my brushes.
Your brushes, yeah, it's super nice. I like the texture a
By
lot.
the way, are you an illustrator?
Cool.
Since you like were doing this like in Procreate, do you illustrate? Ron?
I guess I don't do it professionally, but I love to draw. So, and it's kind
Yeah,
of
I'm
like
sure at some
those,
point someone's gonna buy a burp.
yeah,
Yeah.
Be like,
those
come illustrate this thing.
yeah. So if you see the circular one,
Wait, you
the
did it with
one in the middle,
plotters? That's so cool.
yeah, also that.
I should
But yeah, if you click on, oh no,
The
if you scroll
circular?
back up,
yeah.
This one? You mean
the rainbow one, I don't know. I
rainbow?
see it on the stream with a delay, so it's hard
Yeah, it's a delay.
to follow what you're doing.
It's not like
The one that has like a rainbow wave coming from the middle.
rainbow
like
wave. Let
verbs.
me go back to rainbow.
Wave of bird.
Why I don't see rainbow?
I don't see it.
Yeah, computational mem is asking. Yes, I do have a graphic design past.
Yeah, because you were saying at the beginning you did typography, which is like super
Yeah.
interesting
I don't
and
see
like
the
very
rainbow.
specific.
Do you mean this
Me
one?
neither. I don't
it's
see the
down.
rainbow.
Is
It's
this like
down there.
rainbow?
Like, well, yeah, kind of rainbow. Like on the right column, above the plotter stuff. Just above the plotter stuff on the right.
Just above the
plotter stuff.
Okay, so the one with the Tezos logo, then there's the circle.
Yeah. The one on the right of the Tezos logo.
This one with the wave.
This is so hard to do in like 5-second delay.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like piloting a robot on Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are the birds that I've seen a lot. Yeah, these ones
me
went
too.
around Twitter.
Yeah, so these ones I did live on stream,
Cool.
in the early days of the channel.
Yeah.
And it's P5 plus the drawing, and that's something I'd love to do again, like combining illustration with code.
Yeah, because you import it as a vector, a PNG, or like a vector, or what?
Yeah, it's a PNG.
PNG, not even SVG.
Yeah, and I remember that the idea of making the whole a little line like that was given by 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, and and that was my first piece on 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧
or something like that. But didn't you have like a
no, that
house?
came later. Like
Okay.
that was the response. That was my reaction to
Yeah,
to
that was so
selling, like,
clever. So
yeah,
clever.
paying rent in a weekend. It's just very, very startling.
By the way, tell us about
Yeah.
back to it. I'm curious too. So you studied graphic design. Is that what you went to in the uni? Is that your bachelor?
Yeah, sort of. I went to like Superior School for Design, or several actually, but yeah. So I studied visual communication first, and then I went towards typography because I thought, I think the story of my life is trying to combine my artsy, like the artsy part of me and the nerdy part, and I not finding exactly what it was. And so I thought, like, oh, like graphic design, it's maybe a more scientific approach to art, so I'm going to go to graphic design instead of going to art school because it's felt scary and fuzzy and weird. And so went towards graphic design, and then I was like, oh, typography is like even nerdier type of graphic design, and you're going to get rules, and they're going to tell you how to make things look nice. But it was still not that exactly for me. And then and then when I found out about creative coding, it felt like the right balance. Like I really, really loved that it had this very scientific and structured and analytical part, and also very aesthetic. And yeah, it's just the two ways that my brain functions put
Cool.
into one discipline.
One little spot,
So
yeah.
yeah, so that's that. I think, yeah, I'm very glad that I found creative coding, because it's the kind of thing that, yeah, I didn't think I would find that there was a place for me in the world.
Yeah,
And
Same.
It's the same
yeah,
for me.
and there.
I felt that I discovered it too late as well.
No,
Yeah,
why?
Like
I agree.
it
I
was
feel like
there,
when I
but
found it, I was
I had
like,
no idea, So I don't know if it was the same for the two of you, that it's been there like all my life around me, but I had no idea that it was a thing that you could do with code.
Same.
So
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wish I could have encountered math and science through the lens of creative coding when I was younger. I think I would have had an entirely different relationship with how I feel about learning.
Yeah,
But I was really
100%.
happy to find it when I did. And I feel like, I don't know, the community was so lovely and encouraging. And like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's really the thing for me that motivates me to do all the things I do, the streams and everything else. Is like I would love for more people to find out about it. I feel almost evangelical about it. That
Totally.
that I would I would hate it for more people to miss
miss
that
it.
in their life when they could.
Yeah.
I know that they would totally enjoy it, and also because for so many like for so long, for 70 years, essentially computer art has been sort of this niche that is not
Looked at
really
from like
people don't know
above, being
about.
like, that's not art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's this and there's the fact that like I joked on Twitter once that my art history teacher told us about 50 different artists working with poop but never mentioned
Never anything
computer
with
art.
yeah. Yeah.
uh it's almost true. um and yeah, I mean the true part is that she was obsessed with poop art, but and and also and also that we never heard about computer art.
It is true.
I mean, but isn't it? I will say that I do find it very like dommage, kind of like
mhm.
a shame that now we hear about it only because of like the financial
Yeah,
worth that
it's
NFT
bittersweet.
has. Yeah, exactly.
It's
Because like
bittersweet.
you
It's
also
like,
want your
oh,
work to be
that's what it.
valuable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it took. That's what it. That's what it took to for the world to pay attention. Money,
of
okay,
course. I mean,
yeah,
capitalism. It is the
yeah.
current
Mm.
structure,
But then again,
so it
like
makes it.
modern art and computer, like not computer art, but
Yeah,
like all the history of the art, like the modern history of art and the art market that goes with it. That's a fairly recent development,
yeah.
and it is, but at the same time, like, yeah, I mean, I'm not an art historian, but like money has always had something to do with the
Kind
conditions
of.
in which art is produced.
Yeah.
Like old, the
I
Sistine
mean, it's
Chapel wasn't made for free out of
Yeah.
passion.
no
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. I mean, with everything, I guess. I mean, in this bloody world,
Mm.
no? So money is like king, kind of, moving
Yeah.
along
Yeah.
any spectrum. So, but speaking of it, another question that I had, since we're like still here, that I was curious about, because you said that last year you were able to finally go full like artist and stop working as a
Mm.
graphic designer, I suppose, that you were doing, or a typographist,
I stopped
or
working before that because I burnt out, but it came at
okay.
the right time.
Okay. So
Yeah.
and how do you survive? Is my next question for like I'm asking you because I'm myself trying to do this career switch myself in like
Yeah.
trying to become more of an artist, but so that's the question, like how do you, because you
I think
everything
you
that you
are
do
an
for your
artist.
community, I know that it's for free, like you saying that maybe in the
Mm.
future you will start a Patreon, but how do you pay rent at the moment? Is NFTs really giving you the enough
It
profit to survive,
Yeah.
it
or do
it
you do workshops somewhere? Are you teaching somewhere? Would you mind sharing a little bit of that for other people that might be
Yeah,
curious
sure.
too, like that want to go full on
Yeah.
artist?
So first of all, I would preface this by saying that I don't think that you can take my experience and replicate it exactly. I was kind of lucky to be on 𝗙𝗀𝗀𝗀 when I was, which
Mm,
is like first week when it opened, and
yeah.
same on Versum, and like being very deeply involved in that community from the very start, thanks to people like 𝗙𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 and Mario Klingemann who were talking about it, and I was already following them, um, and being available for it when it happened because I was not working at that time already. So yeah, it was a good thing to obsess over. Um, so yeah, there's definitely there's definitely a bonus to being first in that space, which is good and bad. Um, but yeah, to answer your question specifically, yes, last year I made my year on FX hash and 𝗙𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 and yeah, mostly FX hash actually, with the last Carrot project. That was the big one, and that was like a year's worth of salary at that I would have. Yeah, I mean, it was more than I made usually, than I made at any of the jobs that I had before. Not by not by orders of magnitude, far from it, but yeah, that was an all right salary for Berlin for sure.
And we talked about this too, because when we were in Utrecht together, I remember asking
Mm.
you, and you were saying like it works in Berlin, but like if you lived in Paris, it wouldn't necessarily be
Yeah, that wouldn't have
as
worked.
easy. Like I think it's very dependent also on like the lifestyle and like where you live and what your
Yeah.
city allows.
But also, I mean, I could have been more opportunistic and ride the wave in the summer last year when things were selling like hotcakes, and made more stuff a bit more cynically, or maybe not cynically, maybe just if I had more energy,
and
I
earn
could
more
have
money.
made more.
Yeah.
Or if I focused only on art making and not doing the streams and other stuff.
Right. Because you had
And
your
it's the same
market
right
too,
now,
like the people, your collectors. You had already the people that was buying from you. Anyway.
Yeah, and also there was a big hype, and like recently, the last few weeks, there's been again a big hype for FX hash, and I could have put out something quickly. And I don't know, actually, I think the collectors are getting more discerning, which is great.
Nice,
So maybe that's, that wouldn't even have worked if I just put something out without really making something nice out of it. I think the things that do sell well in these days, I look at them and I think like, yeah, I can see that. I that's good quality stuff. So that's good. Um, that would have been the same burnouts as computational development. Yeah. I think if I make stuff and I don't feel like they're meaningful, it happened before. Like I remember being at a job and my superior, my boss, telling me like, yeah, just put out this. I think it was some kind of data viz stuff. I was like, yeah, but I mean, is it data viz, or say, yeah, no, just make it look nice. It doesn't have to mean anything, and don't put too much time in it. And and he
hate
thought
people
that
like that. They don't
he
understand
thought
what
that
you
by
do.
telling me, he thought that by telling me that it wasn't important and I shouldn't worry about it, that it would
That it was
make
gonna
me more
make you
motivated
feel
to
better.
make it. It's like,
No.
that's not how a creative
Yeah.
mind works. You have to feel like there's meaning into it.
But not only in that field. I was gonna say that you were doing more creative
Every
stuff,
field, it's
like
the same
working
everywhere.
as well, like as a front-end developer,
Probably.
like with agencies. So it was the same story. Like at the beginning, everything like big plans, and then at some point, like always, like the milestones are so small and the budget, like as well, too, is too tight that they end up telling you like just go for it, like 80% good. It doesn't have to be like 100% good. And you're like, well, if you're the kind of person that you don't like to do 100% when they tell you this, like your manager, you're like, but why I cannot spend the time on it and do it good enough? But they're like, no, but there's no time. Just do it like, kind of decent. And
But
then
that's But then I would say like in an agency, I remember. Well, I don't know if this is.
Breaching any NDAs.
No, I was gonna say like I don't know if this is
we're
like.
not throwing any names. So.
Well, we'll see. When I worked at an agency years ago, I was in the strat department, and I remember there was a day where someone had said to the creatives, not me, but someone said to the creatives, like, you guys aren't artists, you're creatives. It's not the same. And everyone got so insulted. But at the same time, I was like, you're in an agency. You make your art in your studio when you're in your art game. But like if you're at an agency, you're there to like execute. So then it's like you have to make some conditions, but it's so hard, and it's like so awful to say that to someone who's like, you're still asking me to put my creative like abilities at your service.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, I think it's fine to make the distinction between design and art, and
for sure.
and I have to because I wear both. Yeah, no, I totally get it, and I would have been insulted as well if it was said because of the intention of it than the content of the message.
Don't
but
denigrate my whole vibe.
Yeah, that's really insulting. But yeah, I feel like as somebody who has sort of worn both hats at different moments, it's something that I have to remind myself that, and I mean, that would be opening a whole other Pandora's box,
but it's true. I work as a graphic designer, and
there's a more intuitive,
because you have to sell a product, right? Like you're doing like when you're a graphic designer and not like doing art, you're doing something for a purpose. You need to communicate something, so you have to think and consider those things.
trying to solve a problem for specific people who have specific needs, and it's, you know, it's a whole, there's an art to it, definitely. It's and I love that, but yeah, if you're making art, like having this very mechanical thinking, and I also, like, interestingly, having collaborated with engineers before, like my friend Roman, who I started with when I said, like, the one who tried to teach me C and C++ back then, he had this very engineer mindset. He was studying at the time in the university. I was as well, graphic design, and we were like bringing, you know, this energy and this certainty that you have as a student that you know best. It was very intense. We had to do a lot of grounding and try to, because we didn't use words in the same way, and like this engineer mindset is very its own thing, and yeah, if you come at it from a more creative perspective, like, yeah, you're not trying to solve the same problems, and you don't realize it. You think you're solving the same problem,
and
but
so not at all.
But it's not the case.
That's so funny.
So yeah, and it's the same between art and design. I feel like, because we use similar words and terms with different meanings, and so it's easy to get confused. And if you're both in your own mind, then you get yourself confused.
Yeah, it's like a slippery slope for sure. Yeah.
Shall we wrap it up?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like it's almost 2.
Yeah. Probably you're hungry.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and eat something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like,
but it was so much fun. I'm really happy with this and everything we talked
about.
Me
too.
And what we made.
Did so good.
Me too. Such a pleasure to get to know you, by the way, and meet you, because I know Eliza and you already met before. But I've never talked to you online. So
yeah, we haven't talked.
No. So
yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I hope we'll have other opportunities to.
Definitely, meet. We have to do Shiny Glass now.
Yeah, we have to do Ray March.
Yes,
next
please.
Time. So it will be good for all of us just to practice.
Yeah.
Since there's 1,000 things that we want to do all the time. So at least if we meet again.
And if you want to drop by tonight for the challenge, people have made stuff about stained glass. So
yeah, I want to come and see. I think I'm going to try and be there.
It will be starting at 5 p.m. Berlin time. So
okay.
Yeah, if it's 2 now,
in 3 hours.
If it's 2 now, then 5.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome.
There you go.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
For watching.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, chat.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for being here today.
See you next time.
Have a lovely Sunday, everybody.
Bye.